No, I want a foul. Not a foul, a foul. It's my forfeit for not wearing my Punjabi Rams badge the other night. No, I don't want an O or a U, a foul. I'm not calling for a foul, please. I'm calling for a foul. Good evening and welcome to Fan TV. It's the start of another week of blindingly good football chat on the show that football fans are talking about. Yes, the lime green sofa is going to be a hotbed, nice, of controversy and bants as always. And tonight it's me, Justin Lee Collins, that will be taking you all the way through until 10 o'clock. We're right in the middle of an international break, so whilst there may be no Premier League action to gossip about, there has certainly been plenty of World Cup qualifying action over the weekend. On Sunday, Bulgaria beat Belarus 1-0 in Group A, whilst the Netherlands took the win against their close neighbours, Luxembourg. Manchester United's Memphis Depay claimed 2 of the goals, whilst Arjen Robben was showing he still got it, taking the first just under 10 minutes before the end of the first half. Chanot scored a penalty for the Luxembourg side in the 44th minute, but it was little consolation with the final score 3-1 to the Netherlands. Meanwhile, in Group B, Hungary hammered Andorra 4-0 and Switzerland beat the Faroe Islands 2-0. The stars of the group, Portugal, were also in action taking on Latvia. Ronaldo put one away from the penalty spot, and then Zuzins gave the Latvians hope when he managed to put one in the net and equalise, but it just wasn't to be. Carvalho put the Portuguese ahead again. Ronaldo missed a second penalty and then volleyed one in to make it 3-1. Alves sealed the deal in the 92nd minute, making the final score 4-1 Portugal. Group H saw Cyprus beating Gibraltar 3-1, Greece drawing with Bosnia-Herzegovina 1 each, and Belgium absolutely slaughtering Estonia with an 8-1 drubbing. With too many goals to talk about, the Belgians are undefeated in all 4 of their group games and have scored 21 goals in total. 2 of the home nations were in action on Saturday, with the Republic of Ireland defeating Austria by 1-0 and Wales drawing 1-1 with Serbia. Spain and Italy also continued their campaigns, with the Spanish side beating Macedonia 4-0 and the Italians putting 4 in the net against Liechtenstein. 2 from Belotti, 1 from Immobile and 1 from Candreva left the Liechtensteinians reeling. That was the weekend international action. Last week was amazing here on Fan TV. You don't need me to tell you all about it because you were here watching. Let's go back and remind ourselves of some of the best bits.
And I'd say that the atmosphere was not as good as what it is in the Kop.
I think your daughter's calling you. Sorry.
She is, yes, you come to say hello.
Oh, yes. Which football team do you support, Layla?
Balotelli.
She likes Balotelli.
What's your favourite football team? How old's Layla, Peter?
4.
Layla, do you like football?
Tell them you play football, don't you?
Yeah.
What team?
Liverpool.
Every angle was just pigs flying. Like when we done the beach balls before, it was easy because they could just kick right on the nugget.
Looking very dapper, Tom, if I must say.
Came straight from work, so...
Came straight from work. What are you, funeral director?
PR executive, actually.
Whereabouts are you? Anywhere nice?
I'm in Birmingham.
Oh, so no. That is a very, very snazzy wallpaper you've got there, if I may say so.
It's a boudoir. Those are the curtains.
Oh, they're curtains. Ah, brilliant. So, sorry I insulted them.
And hopefully Will Grigg's going to be on fire.
Your defense is terrifying because Will Grigg's on fire. Your defense is terrifying because Will Grigg's on fire. Your defense is terrifying because Will Grigg's on fire.
I say Ozil and Alexis Sanchez, they're the reason why I breathe these days, honestly.
Oh,
honestly.
the reason why you breathe.
They're amazing. Yeah.
Well, I'll laugh at Fergie and the great titles that he's won at Manchester United.
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah, I'll laugh at that. I'll laugh at all the 13 Premier League titles, the 2 Champions Leagues that he's won at Manchester United.
But I'll tell you what. Arsene Wenger's got really nice jackets.
Well, let's see the guns, Kenny Ken. Let's see those guns again. Oh, loving the guns. Oh, Oh, look at that! The 24-inch pythons. Look at that, Sean.
You want us to bring up?
We know where you've been. Sean's just went for a poo.
I've got a couple of Newcastle fans sitting on the sofa there. They must fully understand about going to watch your team every single week for no good reason, seeing a lot of the same stuff. And
It's a good job you're in Spain, Chris. It really is. It really is.
Perfect England fans.
Was it upsetting seeing 5 Scotland fans make more noise than the whole of the Emirates?
Wow. That is a low blow.
He's a Bournemouth fan. He told us if Bournemouth lost to Sunderland, he would dye his hair red and white stripes. And lo and behold, that's another round of applause. Well done. Well done, Gibril, yeah, I know, yeah. Every inch of him covered in the tattoo. Well, I can't, that's not from personal experience. I don't know.
Every inch.
That's a trick answer.
Tell us more about every inch.
I had another tweet as well at FADTV UK. Why are you dressed like a Scottish darts player tonight from Steve?
England last night. Now, go on then, let's start. What did you think of the performance?
I didn't watch the game.
Brilliant, why are you here?
Are you ready?
For what?
We're going on air in a second.
I'm just waiting for a call, and I told you.
Who from?
They said they wanted someone from Fan TV to go in the jungle. I'm getting ready. Hat, gloves.
You're due on air.
I've got better things to do.
Didn't want to have to tell you this, but they have actually called.
Yeah.
They're going for Kenny Ken.
Are you actually serious? I filled out 2 letters on my name.
That was last week on Fan TV. Here's what's coming up tonight. First up tonight, we've got Double Trouble with Fulham fan Matthew and Derby Dan. They'll be joining me here on the lime green sofa in just a few minutes' time. Then at 7:45, I can hardly contain my excitement. They're back. Cheeky Sport are here. Yes! Those boys just can't get enough of Fan TV. At 8 o'clock, we're off to our regular weekly slot at United Stand with Mark Goldbridge. Let's hope he remembers this week. And then at 8:30, it's time for some lower league action with some John T. Lord. I'm not sure what his name is, but he will be here with us on the sofa. What's that? His name's John T. Lord? Are you sure? What kind of name is that? Sorry about that. Apparently, he's not a Lord at all, but he is John T. And he'll be here with Miles Dilworth to talk all about Brentford. At 9 o'clock, we'll be taking our regular trip overseas to chat with Tales from the Top Flight man, Chris Darwin. And at 9:15, Borough fans Nathan and Paul will be here to get us all the way through until 10 o'clock tonight. And of course, with loads of international friendlies going on, we'll be bringing you all the latest scores as they happen right here on Fan TV. Shall we get our first fans out here? Please put your hands together for Matthew and Daniel. Daniel, lovely man. How you doing, brother? Matthew, welcome back. Okay, yeah, watch the lime green sofa there. Be kind to the sofa, and the sofa will be kind to you. Dan, Matthew, welcome back, you lovely boys. How you doing?
Really good, how are you?
I'm all the better for seeing you.
You too.
Let's start with Derby.
Brilliant.
Steve McLaren.
Yep.
Beaten once in 5 games since being reappointed as coach. His record is 1-3, drew 1, lost 1. Is he forgiven, Dan, for his lack of commitment last time he was at Derby County? Have you forgiven him?
Yes. If he can kind of rediscover the form we had the first time round and get us to the playoffs, or even better, get us promoted, then perfect.
It's a great start, Daniel, is it not, for McLaren?
Definitely,
now? Derby are 6 points clear of the relegation zone. And
great transition, I love it. Great transition.
You're talking about going up. You're 6 points clear of the relegation zone.
Exactly, but
It's for Wales, behave.
6 points off the playoffs as well.
Exactly, there you are.
Exactly, well, there you go. Does that show how competitive the championship is?
Yes. Any team from probably the bottom 4 or 5 onwards can go up easily. At least reach the playoffs anyway, at least.
And that's. Do you think you've got to stand a good chance of reaching the playoffs?
We might squeeze in just about, but I don't want to jump the gun.
Okay.
I mean, we're doing well, but
next year, maybe.
Next year, Nathan on the floor on Middlesboro.
we'll face you next year, so don't worry about it. You'll be back down again.
What, in the cup?
Borough fans aren't mic'd, but Daniel, so you think you'll be facing Middlesbrough again
in the
next
Championship.
year? So do you think it's more likely, in all seriousness, that Borough will get relegated and you'll be playing them in the Championship, or do you think you'll get promoted and you'll be playing them in the Premiership? What's the likeliest outcome?
More likely than getting relegated, or that or an FA Cup game, one of the two.
I'll give Borough the right to reply, of course, when they're mic'd.
I would agree. It's much more likely we'll get relegated.
Much more likely.
They'll get promoted.
You're not.
They're never.
Cheeky. That's what it is. Cheeky.
You never get promoted.
Okay, Nick, we can hear a little bit of you on the floor, but you think it's far more likely that Middlesbrough will be relegated?
No, I don't want to put Middlesbrough down. But
that's a true fan, expecting relegation.
It's going to be a hot show tonight. We're only hearing parts because you're not mic'd. But basically, the Middlesbrough, that's right, Dan. Nathan, our Middlesbrough fan, is saying of the two options that I put to Daniel, it's more likely that Middlesbrough will get relegated than Daniel's team, Derby County, getting promoted. Listen, we've barely started and already we've got a break coming up. We'll be back talking Wales with Matthew and more Derby County with Dan after the break. We're live on Sky 212. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be a hot show. Good times. It's going to be a hot show. Volume up on the floor, guys. Welcome back to Fan TV. We are live on Sky 212 all the way till 10 p.m. this evening. If you're watching on Facebook Live or YouTube, don't forget to refresh at the top of every hour. We don't want to lose you. On the lime green sofa, we've got Daniel, our Derby County fan, and we've got the lovely Matthew, our Wales fan. Getting very comfy.
That's too much. There's too much male bonding going on.
Before we go back to the chat, let's launch tonight's Celebrity Wash Bag. Once again, I've kleptoed a wash bag. Through a series of clues, we would like you to tell us whose wash bag I've stolen. Clue number one this evening, if I can open it up. There we go. Lovely, lovely. Clue number one from the wash bag this evening is this essential GCSE Latin book. The essential GCSE Latin book. Clue one from the wash bag. Based on clue one, more clues will follow. Do you think you know whose wash bag I've klepto? Get in touch at FanTV UK is the Twitter. Join in at fantv.me is the email. If you want to Skype call Fan TV channel is the Skype. Now, at 3 o'clock this afternoon, we launched our first Twitter poll. Have a look at the question and let's see how you voted so far. The question was, deadliest Premier League strike duo. Your options are York and Cole, Henry and Bergkamp, Shearer and Sutton, and other. 14% of you have voted for another combo.
Me.
12% Shearer and Sutton, 40% Henry and Bergkamp, 34% York and Cole. Matthew, you voted for an other?
Yeah, I voted for Didier Drogba's head and Didier Drogba's right foot.
Okay, nice. See what you've done there. You've gone for the head of Drogba
and the right foot
of Drogba. For your money, that was the classic and deadliest Premier League strike duo.
Absolutely, because I maintained for a while that had Didier Drogba spent his entire career in the Premier League, he would have more goals than Alan Shearer. He was the best striker the Premier League has ever seen.
You think Didier Drogba was the best striker the Premiership has ever seen?
Yeah.
Big words there from Matthew, our Wales fan. Do you agree with Matthew's comments?
No,
was
probably,
Didier Drogba, or is he the greatest striker that the Premiership has ever seen, better than Shearer? Tweet at Fan TV UK on that one. Daniel, which way would you vote?
I think he's crazy to begin with. Yeah. But other than that, Thierry Henry and Dennis Bergkamp.
So you're one of the 40%?
Yeah, definitely.
You would go for Henry and Bergkamp?
They were unstoppable, weren't they?
Does Ravanelli not get a say in this? Ravanelli and Christie? No?
Yeah, good combo.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Matthew's comments that Didier Drogba is the greatest striker?
He was fantastic, there's no doubt that. It was absolutely brilliant.
Better than Alan Shearer, Dan?
Probably not.
See?
Okay, before we go back to the chat, we've got a VT for you to look at very quickly. It's 5 things we learned from the weekend, courtesy of our friends at the Football Fancast. Have a look at this.
Welcome to Football Fancast, ladies and gents, and 5 things we learned from another thrilling weekend of international football. It was thrilling. I don't miss the Premier League at all, I promise. Anyway, thing number 1, Scotland are even worse than England, and that takes some doing. It's 144 years since the Three Lions and the Tartan Terriers played the first ever international fixture, and they celebrated the milestone with some deeply average football at Wembley. England was sloppy, there were far too many misplaced passes, and they had to be bailed out by Joe Hart on several occasions. Gordon Strachan, meanwhile, has about as much job security as a Hillary Clinton campaign manager. Yikes. Thing number 2, Ireland and Northern Ireland were victorious, but it was a frustrating one for Wales, who were held to their 3rd consecutive score draw of qualification by Serbia. A minute before Alexander Mitrovic's late equaliser in Cardiff, Gareth Bale hit the post. He was a hair's breadth from making it 2-0, but the less said about hair, the better. At least Wales kept up their ridiculous team photo tradition. Crouching Dragons, hidden Gunter, maybe? Thing number 3, Germany narrowly scraped an 8-0 win in San Marino. France came from behind to beat Sweden, and there were fireworks in Romania as Poland won 3-0. Robert Lewandowski had to be treated when a firecracker exploded at his feet, teaching us all a valuable lesson. If a firecracker lands near your feet, run away from it. Don't just stand there like a San Marino defender. Thing number 4, away from the qualifiers, Sporting Intelligence released a list of the highest wage bills in football, and number 1 was the 6th best team in England, Manchester United. The Red Devils' first team average 110 grand a week, more than double the Premier League average of 48 grand. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is bringing up the average with his £220,000 a week pay, which works out to around £1 per shot off target. I've done the maths there. And finally, thing number 5, Usain Bolt has something in common with Henrik Mkhitaryan, as he wants to play football one day. The world's fastest man told The Guardian that he's been in touch with Borussia Dortmund coach Thomas Tuchel and will train with the team soon. It's a bit of a snub to Man United, the team Bolt actually supports, but we can assume he chose Dortmund because their kit is the closest thing he could get to Jamaican colours. He knows he looks good in yellow. All right, that's 5 things we learned from the weekend. Give us your thoughts at Football Fancast on Twitter. Thanks so much for watching. Love Team Others. See you next time.
Thanks to our friends at Football Fancast. There'll be another 5 things we learnt from football on next week's show. Matthew, lovely man, let's talk Wales.
Yes,
I've got a broomer for you. Broomer! 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 If you're new to the show, a broomer is, of course, a breaking rumour. We've put them together to create a broomer. Matthew, Coleman's been targeted by 2 2, Chinese clubs. What are your thoughts? You can't lose Coleman, surely not.
Well, no, we can't, and we won't, because everyone knows the Chinese league is a joke, and it will be. But one thing that we have that many countries don't have is players and managers who actually care about their country, who actually want to be there.
Yeah.
Unlike this lot. So Coleman won't leave. The only way Coleman will leave is after we win the World Cup, and that will be the peak. After 2018, he'll leave because we'll win the title in Russia, and then he'll just sail off into the sunset.
What have you been taking?
He'll leave after you've won the World Cup in Russia.
I mean, maybe in 2022, but he'll leave after we win the World Cup. That's I know.
Matthew, serious question. Whoa, hang on a minute. We've got someone scored. What's the score?
Hang on, who's playing at the moment?
Sweden 1-0 at Hungary. Sweden have scored against Hungary. It's Larsson for Sweden. They're currently beating Hungary at 1-0.
Henrik Larsson's still going?
No, it's not Henrik Larsson. It's another Larsson. It's another Larsson.
Seb Larsson.
Matthew, serious question.
Yes.
You've just flippantly mentioned that you will win the World Cup in Russia.
Or Qatar. I'm not judging either way.
Well, as it stands, what are your chances of actually qualifying for Russia?
Slim to nil. That's the fact.
Slim to nil? Do you think, is it a fact?
Yeah, because we've got the Republic of Ireland, who I'd say are the second best team in the group after us. We've got to go away to them in our next game, and that's going to be incredibly hard. We lose in the Aviva. Is the Aviva the don't? Yeah, we lose there. We're out of it. Simple as that.
It's a must-win. Dublin has now become a must-win after your draw against Serbia.
Yeah.
You're third in Group D behind Ireland. They top the group. They've got 10 points. And Serbia. You've got 6 points. Your current record is you've won 1, you've drawn 3. You haven't lost, but you keep conceding goals and you keep losing the lead.
Yeah, well, it's basically our success has come back to bite us because previously we were seen as the small nation, so everyone would come at us, we play counter-attack and then take it from there. But now, shush, but now, you said you shut up, but now we reach the semi-final, everyone has this idea, rightly or wrongly, that Wales are now a big team. So now everyone has to... I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to you. So everyone now comes with this idea that we have to defend against Wales. Oh, they got Gareth Bale, third best player in the world. They've got Joe Allen. All these attacking...
Joe Allen.
Yes, Joe Allen, great player. Anyway, so yeah, they've come with this, right, Wales are going to attack us, so we have to sit back. And it's getting hard to break teams down. That's the issue. Like, Serbia came and played 5 at the back, and we tried to shake it up a bit, but just couldn't get through. Simple as that. Our success has come back to bite us, I'd say.
Okay, so what are your thoughts, Daniel, because you're chipping in? Do you think that Wales will qualify for Russia? Or
Probably not, no.
And he's correct. And he's correct.
They're a one-man team, aren't they? Gareth Bale carries them every single game.
We say they're a one-man team. Obviously, Gareth Bale is a phenomenal talent, of course. But Aaron Ramsey, back in the side, is he fully fit? Should he have played?
No. He should have played maybe for 60 minutes, but you saw, because I was there, and you could see towards the end he was barely struggling to do. Yeah. And it's mismanagement from Arsene Wenger's part, because Arsene Wenger, for all that he is.
You blame Arsene Wenger for the situation?
Yeah, because Aaron Ramsey had a whole summer with us, and didn't get injured. He played 60 minutes for Arsenal against Watford. All of a sudden, he's out for a couple of months. It's Arsene Wenger who's killing Aaron Ramsey's career.
Whole summer consistent for like 6 games there for Wales.
Still with us for a long stretch, 60 minutes, and then
he's played 1 game for Arsenal, I think, this season so far.
Exactly, because he got injured. Because Arsene Wenger mismanages him.
Okay, so you're blaming Arsene Wenger for Aaron Ramsey's injury woes.
Absolutely.
You don't blame Chris Coleman for putting him back into the national side too soon. A
slight bit of it. It goes 90% Wenger, 10% Coleman. Coleman was correct. It was right to play Aaron Ramsey, but after about 60 minutes, you saw he was struggling. Should have got Johnny Williams or Emir Hughes.
Second half, Matthew, it's fair to say you're right. Aaron Ramsey looked fatigued, didn't he?
Absolutely.
So clearly not ready.
No, he was ready, just not for the 90 minutes.
You've now lost the lead, Matthew, 4 times in the past 3 World Cup qualifying matches. How troubling is that for you as a Wales fan?
It's quite, but when you consider that against Serbia, we had to go with 4 at the back. If Ben Davies, fine defender, wasn't injured, probably would have been able to go 5 at the back and would have conceded. So it's just injuries. In fairness, I'm not really all that bothered because the World Cup 2018 isn't going to happen because Donald Trump's going to blow it up anyway. So no one's going to make the World Cup. England aren't even going to make it because it's not going to happen.
You don't think the next World Cup will happen in Russia because you think Donald Trump is going to blow up Russia?
Yes, it's not going to happen. The country will not exist.
On Fan TV, we're known for being controversial. Welcome. Quite possibly the biggest broomer in the history of this show. Matthew, over to you. Let's have it one more time.
Russia 2018, the World Cup will not happen because Donald Trump will blow it up. It will go to Spain or Portugal, who I think were runners-up in the previous round. So it'll be Spain and Portugal 2018.
Okay. Do you agree with Matthew's broomer? And of course, just to be clear, it is just a broomer. But let's hear your broomer, Laura. Let's hear your views on the broomer. Do you think Matthew is correct in his assertion that the 2018 World Cup in Russia will not happen because Donald Trump will blow up Russia? Fan TV channel is for
Are you
Sky.
allowed to say that?
I believe so, yeah. I mean, it is only a broomer after all.
Yeah,
it's just a broomer. At Fan TV UK is the Twitter, and join in at fantv.me is the email with your thoughts. We've got some reaction to our Twitter poll as well. Let's have a look. This from Charlie. Rooney and Tevez are the most lethal Premiership strike force. Rooney and Tevez. Let's have another one as well. That's the only one we've got. I really want your reaction now on Matthew's broomer. It's quite possibly the most phenomenal broomer we've had in the history of the show. Will the next World Cup actually happen in Russia? I'm led to believe they're going to get on like a house on fire, though, Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin and Matthew.
Nah, you know what? Nah, I'm not. You don't trust Donald Trump.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with Dan and Matthew after this. Just 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Fan TV on Sky 212. I heard a broomer. Astonishing broomer. Welcome back to Fan TV. We are live on Sky 212. The broomers are flying tonight. Quite possibly the biggest broomer we've ever had has just been dropped by Matthew, our Wales fan. Before we go back to the lime green sofa for the first time this evening, I'll have a foul, please. Yay. That is, oh, that's lovely. Look at that. Yeah. I'll have a foul, please. Of course, if you were watching last week, Pav, and Anish, of course, my fellow Punjabi Rams were on the lime green sofa. I failed to wear my Punjabi Rams badge, which resulted in me, I know, I'm sorry, receiving a forfeit courtesy from our very own Toby Tarrant, who set the forfeit. And the forfeit, which I will be doing in the third hour of today's show, will be to eat a foul and wear a Bristol Rovers shirt, which is even worse. I can't believe it. In the third hour of the show, I will be eating the hottest curry known to man. So for the first time this evening, can I have a foul, please? Take a look at the screens, everybody. You will see a vowel. Is that a U? It's a U, yes. From that humble U, we are asking you to give us the name of a footballer involved in a fouling incident from recent times, or it could be a curry incident. If you think you know the name of the person that we're looking for, tweet at FanTV UK or email joinin@fantv.com. Skype, call us. FanTV channel is the Skype if you'd like to get involved on anything that you've heard from the lime green sofa so far tonight. Let's go back to the chat, because I'm fascinated, Matthew, with Wales at the moment. Who isn't? Well, they are very fascinating to watch. They've not capitalised on playing 3 of their opening 4 Group D games at home. That's another big concern for the Welsh side, isn't it?
Yeah, the Cardiff City Stadium has become was a fortress in previous years, but now something's not got. And I'm not putting the stadium down to it. I'm putting it all back to what I said earlier, in that teams now see us as a big side, right or wrongly, probably wrongly, that we're now some big giant of world football and have to defend us. That's all it is. Rightly or wrongly, and it is wrongly before I hear the laughs from the audience.
Okay.
He hasn't got a temperature, it's fine.
Daniel, here's another stat for you. Wales have conceded as many goals as they did during the entire Euro 2016 qualifying campaign. That's the number of goals they're letting in at the moment. What's going wrong there in defence in particular, Matthew?
Can I bear in mind that two of those goals were against Austria, who are a very good side?
Okay.
So let's take them 2 away from it. I don't know. I honestly just can't see. It's just lack of. I don't want to say it's complete.
Quality?
No, not lack of quality. It's Ashley Williams is a fine defender. Yes. Fine defender. I don't know. It's just lack of concentration. That's all it is. Maybe, and also maybe a bit of losing stamina, which I think we can all. There's a word there. No, never mind. What's
the word?
Oh, sympathise with.
You can
stamina.
sympathise.
The word was stamina.
Yeah, with Ashley Williams
losing his stamina. Well, you could all sympathise with that, can't we?
I don't know what you're getting at. I have no idea what you're getting at, Matthew. So what's the issue with Ashley Williams and his stamina? Why is he losing so much of his stamina?
I don't know. You have to ask his wife.
Oh, you're suggesting sexy times.
Yes, he's had too much of it. He can't keep it going for 90 minutes.
How on earth do you know that he's having too much sexy times?
You don't know my sources.
Another wonderful broomer, courtesy of Matthew, that Ashley Williams is losing his stamina because of rampant sexy times.
But hey!
Iceland have scored as well. Thanks for that. Iceland have scored. Hot off the press, Iceland have scored. We've got a Skype caller. I don't know who he supports. Jim, are you there, baby? Hello, Jim. How you doing? It's my friend Jim from XS Manchester. I can't hear him. Jim, can you hear me?
Is that a good or
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Jim, we've got no sound. Have we got sound on Jim? We cannot hear Jim on the sound. Jim, if you can hear me, we cannot hear you. On the floor is one of my co-hosts at XS Manchester, the best rock radio station in the world. Jimbo, can you hear me, you lovely man?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We've got Jim! Jim, I don't actually know which team you support. Who do you support, Jim?
I am, for my sins, a very secretive...
And we've lost him again. It's going to be one of those nights, I think. When we've got the sound back with Jim, Jim's back again. We'll have one more try. Jim, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
OK, Jim, I don't actually know which team you support. Who do you support, Jim?
I'm a very secretive West Ham fan.
I never knew this before now.
There you go. For my sins. Completely randomly. There's a story behind why I support West Ham, and it's complete fiction because I thought my granddad played for West Ham, and that's a story that I was told when I was little, and it turns out he didn't play for West Ham at all. he played for Bolton Wanderers. And so I should have been a Bolton Wanderers fan, but I ended up as a West Ham fan completely by chance.
Jim, sorry, for some reason, Matthew thinks he's at school and he's got his hand up.
My great
Just go to the toilet.
my great uncle played for West Ham.
Matthew's great uncle played for West Ham, or could it be a lie? Did he actually play for Bolton?
No, he did. He actually played for West Ham.
He played for Bolton, Matthew. Don't try and pull the wool over our eyes. We know he played for Bolton.
Played alongside Bobby Moore in the Cup Winners' Cup final.
Oh, he played alongside Bobby Moore in the Cup Winners' Cup final. Jim, do you believe Matthew, or do you think that's total BS?
I think it's complete truth, and I can also help Matthew out in return because he was talking about Ashley Williams being exhausted because of his sexy time. Well, Pep Guardiola agrees with you because apparently it's come out today. Samir Nasri gave an interview when he was in France that all the players at Man City were banned from any sexy time after midnight.
You're kidding me.
Okay, after midnight was a problem, which makes them into some kind of like weird gremlins that if they involve themselves in a bit of nookie anytime after midnight, they turn into monsters. I don't know, but it's a weird one. So maybe you're right.
There might be some truth in this.
Hang on, Pep Guardiola implemented a no sexy times after midnight ban on the entire Manchester City squad.
Apparently so, yeah, that's according to Samir Nasri.
I think we've got a little bit of a graphic for this. You can see this up on the screen.
Hang on, a graphic of sexy times. Are we allowed to? Is it
For
pre-watch?
him, his players' sexual activity must take place before midnight in order to get a good night's sleep, even if they are free tomorrow. Guardiola said that he placed this rule on Messi and his muscles improved since.
Bet they have.
Who's that? Courtesy of Samir Nasri. This is completely bizarre, Jim.
Night.
What was that, Jim? Sorry.
What kind of animal is having sex after midnight anyway? Surely everyone's asleep after midnight. Certainly in my world. That's what happens.
Well, not Ashley Williams, apparently.
Not Ashley Williams, according to Matthew. This is an unbelievable stat. Do you actually think the Manchester City players are taking heed of this fact, Jim?
I don't know, but apparently also Guardiola's banned mobile phones and Wi-Fi at the club training ground. So I don't know, even if they're involving sexy time without a partner, I don't know even that's possible if they've got a phone and Wi-Fi.
Unbelievable. So
Maybe
he's banning phones, he's banning Wi-Fi, he's banning sexy times. What's he going to ban next, this character?
It's ruling with an iron fist, JLC. It's an issue, and I'm sure City players can't be happy.
It's going to be ketchup next. That's usually the manager's line, isn't it?
Matthew was suggesting he's going to ban ketchup.
That's what most managers do.
What's Pep Guardiola going to ban next? According to Jim, our footballing expert from XS Manchester, he's already banned sexy times after midnight, mobile phones and Wi-Fi. Matthew is suggesting the next thing that Pep will ban will be ketchup. What do you think? Get in touch. Jim, have you got any other inside news for us, brother?
I have no inside news for you at all. That was just all randomly off the cuff. But
unbelievable. It's just how he rolls. It's what he does. Unbelievable. OK, so Jim, let's talk West Ham, because somewhere in my notes I've got one or two West Ham rumours. Have you got any insider knowledge as to what's going on at West Ham at the moment for us, Jim?
No, I understand they're going to raise ticket prices a little bit just to prevent the fans having any spare change in their pockets they can lob at other fans at half-time. But other than that, I have no inside news on West Ham.
OK, well, Jim, I've got a broomer for you, you lovely man. You ready?
Yeah.
Broomer! West Ham are weighing up a shock move for Troy Deeney. Watford managed to fend off interest in the summer, Jim, from Leicester after the champions bid £25 million. Are you going after Troy Deeney? What can you tell us?
I think it's a crazy world when Troy Deeney is worth 25 million quid. I mean...
Worth every penny.
Really?
No, no way.
Well, when you consider what strikers go these days, how much did West Ham spend on Andy Carroll?
17 million.
17 million?
Yeah, what did Liverpool spend on him? 35?
36.
I'd have Troy Deeney at 25 and a snip. Compared to what most players go for these days, that's a bargain.
Surely there's a lesson in there if you're spending...
Don't do it, yeah.
Man United spent 90 million on Pogba. No player is actually worth what they get paid.
There was a great bit from Andy Carroll who tweeted...
Jim, if I can have Jim's level up on the floor because I can't hear him. Jim, sorry, buddy. You don't think Troy Deeney is worth anywhere near 25 million?
No, nowhere near. I wouldn't pay 2.5 million and a couple of bags of crisps for him. And Andy Carroll...
What flavour are the crisps?
That was my question.
Salt vinegar.
There's got to be a good pun on Troy Deeney, isn't there, somewhere? But I've no idea what it is. But the Andy Carroll tweeted, you were saying whether he's worth the value. After all his injuries, he tweeted recently, "I'm still a 15 to 20 goals a season man."
When he can still fit.
For the under 21s.
Yeah, well, someone rather cruelly tweeted back to him. They said, "You're not a 15 to 20 games a season man."
That is absolutely brilliant. I've got another one for you, Jim. Another Broomer, if you're ready for it.
Go on.
Broomer, 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 Broomer. Daniel Sturridge, who scored in the 3-0 win over Scotland, is ready to quit Liverpool, West Ham and Stoke among the clubs interested in the £120,000 per week marksman. What are your thoughts on that?
The most depressing thing about that for West Ham fans will be lumped into the same category as Stoke, I think. That would be really disturbing for most people. I mean, to be serious for a second, I think Sturridge is one of those players that really frustrates me because he is undoubtedly one of the most talented players in the Premier League, and he's been at some massive clubs. He's been at Man City, then he went to Chelsea, then he went to Liverpool. But for some reason, it's just never happened for him at any of those clubs, and I think there's something that has to be wrong with him as a player to not succeed on any of those platforms.
Staying up after midnight.
Nice one, Dan. So do you think there's a mental issue there for Sturridge? Is that what you're suggesting, Jim?
That's certainly what's being questioned. And I watched him score for England against Scotland in one of the worst 3-0 wins I think I've ever seen in my life. Well, I don't think how you can win 3-0 and look unconvincing. But he scored that goal, and it was a great goal. He ran off to celebrate, and as the players came to celebrate with him, he kind of brushed them off and did a stupid little dance thing. And I think that's part of the problem. He seems a man who's more concerned with being brand Sturridge than he is about being a top-class footballer. And that would worry me at any club. I wouldn't particularly want that in the dressing room at the club I support.
Jim, you are an absolute legend. We've got to go to a break. Thank you so much for Skyping in. Please call us another time.
Nice one.
You lovely man, and a big hand for Daniel and Matthew and Jim on the Skype. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 2 minutes. There's a hot show. It's Fan TV. We're live on Sky 212. Good times. Thanks, Jim. Cheers, chaps. Thank you. I love you with all my heart. Welcome back to Fan TV. We are live on Sky 212. The cheeky boys are coming up. Here's what's coming up on Fan TV in the next couple of hours tonight. It's a hot show. In just a few minutes' time, it's going to be absolute mayhem here on the set of Fan TV. Yes, they're back. Cheeky Sport will be joining me here on the lime green sofa and probably shouting a lot. I love it. Then at 8 o'clock, we're off to our regular weekly slot at United Stand with Mark Goldbridge. At 8:30, John T. Lord will be here with Miles Dilworth to talk all about Brentford. Sorry, can we just clear this up? Are you sure he's not a Lord? No, no problem. He's not a Lord. And at 9 o'clock, Chris Darwin will be on the Magic Wall telly thing with more tales from the top flight. Then from 9:15, taking us all the way through to 10, it's the turn of Borough fans, Nathan and Paul. That's what's still to come here on Fan TV. Right now, take cover and hold on to your peanuts. It's Cheeky Dave and Cheeky Joel. I love you so much. Oh my God. I love. Oh, my chest collapsed. I love you so
Come on. Hey, listen.
Glad to be back.
I love you, Joel. Oh, Dave, I love you. I love you, man. I love you.
the Kiss T-shirt.
Thank you so much. It's Dave and Joel, everybody.
Hey.
I'm beyond excited. Welcome back, Dave and Joel from Cheeky Sport. Follow them at Cheeky Sport, of course. If you've just joined us, they are going to be on the lime green sofa with me every week.
That's what I'm talking about. Resident guest.
I want to start just by asking you this question. Sensational fact there, courtesy of Jim from XS Manchester, that Pep has installed a rule that the Manchester City squad cannot have sexy times past midnight. They're like gremlins. Jim's words, not mine. What do you think happens, Dave? You're a Manchester United fan, of course, to the Manchester City players should they break the midnight sexy times cut-off?
Oh, well, I think, to be honest with you, I think you might have to speak to Yaya Toure about that, because I think maybe that might be what the actual problem was.
Really?
With Yaya. Maybe Yaya was out there having a bit of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A bit of nookie.
After midnight.
After midnight.
Too much nookie?
Too much nookie, not enough cake. You know, all that kind of stuff. That's what I reckon. Yeah, it's true.
So do you think if Yaya Toure has sexy times post-midnight, does he start firing furry balls out of his chebs?
I don't know what chebs are. I wanted to answer, but I don't know what chebs are.
Where is the Theosaurus?
Yeah, Theosaurus.
Where is it at?
Well, you've seen gremlins, right? They fire the furry balls, don't they? Out of their bums and out of their chebs, don't they? They fire furry balls from their chebs and their bums. But Joel, should we talk Arsenal? Because you've got Manchester United this coming Saturday.
Yes.
Now, as we all know, Joel, we've spoken about it on the show before. Right. Arsenal are on fire. Manchester United, Dave, they're just not playing well.
Listen, let's not start this again. Let's not start this again. All right, Manchester United came off the back of a fantastic win. Arsenal coming off the back of a draw. Okay, and that's all I've got to say about it.
It was a good draw. The last time we drawed was a fantastic performance against Middlesboro. And to be honest with you, that was the last time we drew. Besides that game, and besides the first game of the season, we've been exceptional.
I think Arsenal are down, to be honest with you, because at the end of the day, their previous game that they played in the Champions League, they probably could have and should have lost it. They were 2-0 down. That's what I'm saying. They brought some fight to bring it back. But I mean, I think it's showing signs of weakness. And then from the back of that, they end up losing. They end up drawing to Tottenham.
I think
they weren't even able to score in their own home stadium. They come into the theatre of dreams. They're going to lose. That's what's going to happen.
I think when you're playing against the Grets, right, and you've battered them 6-0, right?
Yeah.
Clearly, some of the boys thought it was party time.
Okay.
But you know, they even gave them a head start. We caught up, and then Ozil manages to score the goal of the season. And you know what? Unfortunately, Tottenham, they did all right, but you know what? It's not a bad result. A draw against Tottenham, who are a really good team at the Emirates, I'll take that. Especially going into a game against Man United. And I'm confident.
Okay.
I really am.
Joel, we'll talk more Man U and Arsenal. But first of all, we've got a Skype caller Skyping in all the way from Serbia, where it's currently 1 a.m. I'm sorry, Siberia. Even better. It's 1 a.m. in Siberia. What's your name, brother?
Andrew. Hello, Justin. Hi.
Andrew, how are you? You lovely man. Like Dave on the lime green sofa, I understand, Andrew, you're also a Manchester United fan.
I am indeed, yes.
Hey! That's what I'm talking about, Andrew.
My goodness.
My fellow brother.
Andrew, you Siberian Tiger, you. How cold is it right now in Siberia?
It was -30. My car didn't start this morning. I mean, it's seriously cold, even by Russian standards. So, yeah, pretty chilly, really.
Even by Russian standards, it's pretty chilly.
I mean, it's the sort of stuff where you breathe in and your nostrils freeze instantly.
You breathe in and your nostrils...
I mean, seriously, like I breathed this morning and my eyelashes froze together.
He's got frozen eyelashes. Unbelievable. Frozen eyelashes, and yet he's still Scottish.
So, inside, is the heating all right there? I know this is a more caring question. Are you nice and warm inside right there,
He's
yeah?
got a scarf on. He's ready.
Well, yeah, got my scarf on. Auralia Kassenberg, just big up to my Russian team over here. I'm doing a bloody rubbish job of getting it on camera, but you get the idea. Orange and black. But yeah, no, it's nice and warm inside. It's all right.
So, Andrew, Manchester United fan, that's your club. But why the Russian national side? Are you part Russian?
So say again, sorry, Justin.
Manchester United is your club, but why a supporter of the Russian national side?
It's pretty hard being a supporter of the Russian national side. I'd say almost as hard, if not harder, than being an England fan, to be honest. They've not been great for a while, but they've got a new coach coming in. They've got some new players coming in. You know, if you've watched CSKA Moscow in the Champions League recently, you know they've got an old backline. They've got this 37-year-old Ignashevich, and they're changing the side round. New formation, 3 at the back. It was 1-0. They won tonight against Romania, which was all right. So yeah, I'm feeling a bit more positive after tonight's performance. So yeah,
who scored the goal for you tonight against Romania, Andrew?
It was a centre midfielder, Magomed Ozdoyev. He's a bit of a box-to-box midfielder, but he's not getting much game time at Rubin Kazan at the moment. They got loads of money. They spent quite a lot this summer, so he's one for the future, and he's one I want them to build the side around. So good for him to score. Andrew,
I've got a big question for you. Now, if you've ever seen Fan TV before, you will know that we are a fan of Broomers on the show.
Yes.
Matthew, our Wales fan, was on the lime green sofa earlier, and he dropped a B-bomb like we have never heard before on Fan TV. He claims, he thinks in his own opinion, not ours, his own opinion, no one else's, that the 2018 World Cup will not go ahead in Russia because now that Donald Trump is the president of the USA, he's going to bomb Russia. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's certainly an original reason to think that the World Cup won't come to Russia. Actually, you know what? He's quite popular over here simply because he said he'll be friendly with Mr. Vladimir Putin. So I'm actually feeling good about it from a distance. If I was living back home, I wouldn't be feeling great about him being president. But over here, it's doing me a few favours. So I think we'll be all right, just about.
Do you have to be careful about what you say, though, Andrew, in case you disappear?
Oh, let me know. I wasn't careful then. Just check the bugs around the corner. I'll be all right. My wife's Russian. She'll vouch for me.
Matthew, how long have you lived in Siberia?
7 years now. Wow. I came out as an English teacher, met my wife, 2 kids, and settled in for the long run now. So I love it here.
And can you just give us a little flavour of day-to-day life in Siberia?
Well, today is the most Siberian of days. Like I say, -30. You get up in the morning, it takes 15 minutes to get the car started. And, you know, Russians are genuinely lovely people. I'm not just being biased, but, you know, the view in the media is a bit unfair because, you know, we saw in the summer all the hooligans fighting in France, right? But, you know, you come here, you go to a bar, chat to a few locals, and they meet you for the first time. They'll invite you around for dinner to their house. They'll cook you a banquet and welcome you into their home. They're genuinely lovely people. So, you know, everyday life is nice here. It's a very welcoming place.
Matthew, sorry, Andrew, I'm just pleased to hear, sorry, I was slightly distracted. I'm just very pleased to announce, I'm just hearing in my ear, that you are now going to be a regular contributor to Fan TV to talk all things Russia and Manchester United.
Hey!
So, wonderful.
Yes! Get in there!
Yes!
That's what I'm talking about.
The Fan TV family is growing.
I love it.
Andrew, I love it with all of my heart. It's going to be a joy if I'm the lucky one that gets to speak to you every week. Andrew, just in relation to some sensational news that we were hearing earlier regarding Pep Guardiola's ban that he's implemented on his players, he's not allowing them to embark on sexy times after midnight. just as our newest contributor to the show, Andrew, can I just ask you, what happens to you if you embark on sexy times after midnight?
Well, I'll be in my wife's good books, that's for sure, because it's not, I wouldn't be allowed anybody else. So I don't know, I think that's a bit harsh if you ask me. But no, I mean, you make.
He loves it, he loves it. He's just had some sexy times, that's why.
Well, it is after midnight right now for me, so I'm allowed to.
He's had sexy times, oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. Andrew.
What you got me into? What is this world of fan TV? You got me saying on TV, sexy time.
Andrew, you lovely man. It's an absolute pleasure to speak to you for the first time, and I look forward to hearing from you about all things Russia from now on. Thank you, you lovely man.
Excellent. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Pleasure is here for Andrew. Love it. Dave, look at that face. You know he's just embarked on some sexy times.
Shadow of a doubt.
If a face ever said, I've had sexy times, Joel, that was it.
I think his wife was in the room. Seriously. I really did. I do.
Okay, don't ask where.
Yeah.
Joel. What? Oh, you're so cheeky. That wasn't me. That wasn't me. You led me to that. You led me to that. So cheeky. Joel, on a serious point about Arsenal, Arsenal always finish fourth. Last season, they finished second, and the season before that, they were third. Is it boring getting the same thing thrown at you about Arsenal always finishing fourth every season?
It's usually from teams like Werder Bremen who haven't really done well themselves in the league, or, I don't know, snotty Middlesbrough fans somewhere in the fan TV studio. You know what I mean? Seriously, like, it was because of the stadium. We got the money now. The pressure's on Wenger. Third, second, first.
So, Joel, why do Arsenal always finish fourth?
Because we don't buy enough players,
Just keep finishing fourth, mate.
We don't buy enough players.
They just keep finishing fourth. That's what it is.
We don't buy enough players.
Dave, I cannot wait for this match on Saturday, and I can't wait to speak to you about it next week. We're going to take a quick break.
Yes.
Don't go anywhere. If you're watching on Facebook Live or YouTube, please refresh. We don't want to lose you. The other side of the break, we'll hear from our friend Mark Goldbridge from United Stand. Don't go anywhere. Fan TV live on Sky 212 all the way till 10 o'clock. Love it. moobs, aren't they, Joel? The same as moobs. They're the same as moobs, but you know they can also come out of your bum. Welcome back to Fan TV. We are live on Sky 212 all the way till 10 p.m. tonight. Now, if you were with us just before the break, I did say that we would be handing over to Mark Goldbridge, our friend from United Stand. Unfortunately, he's let us down again. Typical Manchester United. Typical. Typical Manchester United. Unbelievable. What a letdown.
Not that. What are you talking about? What do you mean?
And on that note, here he is. He's back with us. Oh, Mark, he's back with us, you lovely man. Mark, we've got one of your compadres on the lime green sofa, Dave, big Manchester United fan. And we've also got Joel, the other half of the Cheeky Boys, our Arsenal fan. Lots of chat about the upcoming game on Saturday, November the 19th. I'm sure you've got an awful lot to say about that tonight, brother.
Can you hear me, Justin, first of all?
I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Perfect.
Okay, quality. Okay, so we've got Man U and Arsenal, our Cheeky Boys, on the lime green sofa. Before you take over, Mark, are you confident that you will beat Arsenal at the weekend?
Well, we normally do. They're like a bag of jelly babies when they come out of North London, aren't they? They're spineless. So I think hopefully we will. However, I will tell you about a little dream I had last night, and it's nothing to do with Pep and his sex ban. I dreamt that Manchester United will be 3-1 down after 54 minutes on Saturday, and Ander Herrera will be sent off for a second yellow card. So either you can get a great odds on that and put a bet on, or hopefully it's just I had too much cheese last night. But I think we will win, yeah. I think we will win.
Mark, let me just quickly bring Joel in on that. Joel, you're spineless. You're like a bag of jelly babies.
Who, Arsenal?
Arsenal.
Where did he get that from?
Where'd you get that from, Mark?
Oh, probably the last decade of football of Arsenal bottling it every time they try and win a league title.
Mate.
But,
two FA Cups, 2 Community Shield Cups, 4 trophies. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I've got an England Cup here. You can have that as well.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
That's what
Mark,
I'm saying.
we're so pleased that we got you with us again tonight. Over to you, brother. The floor is yours.
Thanks, Justin. I'm going to. I've put it out to the Twitter lot, so I'm going to take some of their comments very quickly. But just for the Arsenal fans out there, I know there'll be a few watching. I thought I'd do a little bit of a through the keyhole special for anybody who can remember that. Who am I? I haven't won a title in 12 years. Never won a Champions League. Totally and utterly obsessed by Manchester United, and if you lick my tears, they smell of lemon. I'm so bitter, I'm an Arsenal fan. And I'm sure on Saturday, no matter what, they'll be tweeting about Pogba all week. I'm absolutely obsessed, but maybe we can get the Arsenal view on that in a few minutes' time. Let's crack on then. And there is some big, massive Arsenal injury. They've had some massive injury news coming through today, actually. A real blow for Arsenal. That's 2 injuries. Wayne Rooney and Marouane Fellaini potentially out of the Arsenal v Manchester United game, which obviously, from a United fan, it's a big positive as far as I'm concerned. I don't want them anywhere near the pitch. But for Arsenal, that boost has been from 9 men up to 11, so we'll probably give them a better game straight away. Talking about Fellaini, apparently he will be offered a new Manchester United contract. In the next few months. Baffling. 3 managers in a row have picked him, and over 90% of you lot do not want him anywhere near a Manchester United shirt, starting 11, even Manchester, and it looks like he will get a new contract. I'm baffled by that. I don't know what all you lot think, but let's have a look at some of these Twitter comments you've sent me through today. At Jemez_99 says, who should play up front against Arsenal, and should we bring 4-4-2 back and play with natural wingers? I love the 4-4-2. I love the fact that we used to hit teams down the width. I don't think we've got anybody who can put a decent cross in at Manchester United, so whether we could use wingers, I do not know. Who should play up front against Arsenal? Rashford or Martial for me. Definitely not Rooney. It looks like he's going to be injured anyway, but I would probably go with Marcus Rashford because he absolutely obliterates him in a Van Gaal team. Imagine what he can do in a Mourinho team. So I would go with Rashford. I'd like to see Martial on the left though. Memphis situation. Memphis Depay, do you think he should be loaned out, or do you think we should get rid of him? I think he's our number 7. I think the number 7 is the most iconic shirt in Manchester United history for sure. One of the most iconic shirts in world football. I I know some people feel sorry for Memphis. He's been here a good year, coming up for a year and a half now. He's been given that number 7 shirt. All I've seen from Memphis is him driving around in a silly hat in a Bentley. He needs to do far, far more. He's had the opportunities. Herrera and Mata, I love them this year. They didn't really get the opportunities under Van Gaal. What they've done this year is shown what you can do with hard work. And I think that is what's missing with Memphis. Maybe a loan for me. Get him off to a decent team in the Premier League and see if he can do it. I don't want us to just sell him and then it might backfire, but I certainly think he's got to do a hell of a lot more. Schweinsteiger potentially going in January. Yeah, not happy about that. Chicago fire, I'm hearing. Again, baffled, absolutely baffled why Schweinsteiger's not been given a run out. And also Carrick. We go on about Carrick a lot. I'm a big fan of Carrick, but Mourinho's not really used him much either. Hopefully he will play him against Arsenal on Saturday. Going back to what we were all talking about a few minutes ago there with Justin, I think Saturday, I don't think we should be too confident in all seriousness. I mean, Arsenal have been doing quite well. Much depends with Manchester United on the 11 players we put out on the pitch. If we do play Fellaini, if we do play Rojo and Jones because we have to, then that is a big boost to Arsenal. I don't care what anyone says, but if you put Carrick in that defensive midfield position, you put Herrera and Pogba in front of him, you've got Rashford up front, you've got maybe put Mata on the right, put Martial on the left, and I think we'll cause them problems. And we normally do. And let's not forget, we beat Arsenal with Darren Gibson and Fabio De Silva's the De Silva's playing. So we can beat them with any sign. Will United regret letting Memphis leave, says Ashwin Singh. Done that. And what form would we be in if Louis van Gaal was still manager? Would love to hear a discussion about that, says Alexander Fafala. I'm not a big fan of Van Gaal. I don't think we'd be in a much better situation than we are. We might have got Sadio Mane, so Liverpool might be in a worse situation than they are now. I think that's the only positive that Van Gaal was looking to make this summer. But no, the football was turgid. It was side to side. Past the park, whatever you want to call it, it wasn't good, and I think the football under Jose has been far, far better. We're certainly about 5 or 10% quicker in the way we're moving the ball about. I just think he's suffering from the legacy of Van Gaal and Moyes, who made consistently bad signings over the last 3 years, and that is going to take time. And also, adding to that equation, Wayne Rooney on the decline, injuries as per usual at this time of the year. So I think we're on the right track. I think Saturday's a massive game. I wouldn't go into it massively confident, other than the fact that that's just the way I approach it, and I know United fans do go at it with a bit of bravado, and it's, you die by the sword if you get it wrong. So I'm going to say we're going to beat Arsenal on Saturday, and I'm going to give it the banter. But you know what? We probably are in a quite precarious situation, because Arsenal, they have got that stability of their manager. They have got players that have been there for a long time, and that is something that we are striving to achieve through no fault of the manager's fault. He's only been there a few weeks, but I can't wait for it. I think it's fantastic. I think this international break, I didn't really want to talk about international football, but, again, a bit like Fellaini, what's Southgate being given the England manager's job? Why are we even having international breaks? Put them in the summer, ban them, get rid of them. I think, everyone wants Premier League football, Championship football, whatever club you support. That's what people want to be seeing. And there's too many international breaks. That England-Scotland game, just finally, on Friday night, was absolutely abysmal. I remember England-Scotland games in the past, and you'd watch it and you'd enjoy it. I found it so boring. I think international football is deader than a dead duck. And that's what I think. Over to you, Justin.
Thank you, Mark. Mark's words, not mine. International football is deader than a dead duck. And let me tell you, that's pretty dead. Yeah. We've got a goal as well. England have scored a penalty against Spain. They scored! England have scored! England have scored! They have scored a penalty. Who scored the goal? We don't know yet, but they've scored a goal. They have got Lallana scores an England penalty against Spain. Look how happy that makes Mark. Look at his face. He loves it. He looks like he's just had a bad bit of quiche. Mark, let me just ask you this question. Arsenal clearly have a better team at the moment. Can they handle being favourites against you? Because, of course, they didn't handle it well last year. Can they handle being the favourites going into the game against you on the 19th?
I don't think they are favourites. I think they've got a bit more stability. I don't think they are favourites. But the big but is They couldn't beat Van Hal's United. They couldn't even beat David Moyes' United. How are they going to beat Jose Mourinho, who has well and truly schooled Wenger? The whole of the last decade they've come together.
It's a great question.
United favourites.
Great question, Joel. How were you couldn't beat Van Gaal?
You can talk about, you couldn't beat Van Gaal, you couldn't beat Moyes. We weren't able to beat Chelsea for like 10 years. A few weeks ago, we smacked them 3-0. End of story. Sometimes, right, there's a change.
Jose left.
Yeah, no, sometimes
After Jose left.
but sometimes there's a turn in life. Don't forget, you guys got smacked up by Chelsea 4-0 as well. Who would have expected it? Sometimes in life, there's turns around the corner. Right about now, Arsenal are at a new place in their career. Like, when I say in their career, the team is in a new place. Man United are in a different place as well. Somehow Fellaini's getting a new contract. When you're in that place, right? When you're in that place,
he's loving it.
Anything can happen.
Loving it.
Anything.
He's loving it.
Seriously, anything can happen.
Loving it.
You guys are known for dabs these days. Seriously. What happened to the days when the players would get the ball, play it out wide, run it, cross it in, goal scorers are doing their job? All it is Jesse Lingard on Instagram and people going like this.
What happened to those days? What happened, Mark?
I'm going to clap at that. You know what? That you rescued yourself with that last bit. I mean, I've got to admit, Jesse Lingard standing on a ball doing whatever that dab rubbish is. I'm too old for that. I mean, I'll applaud you for that. Anything can happen, but you know, we're approaching Christmas. I've seen all these adverts. Anything can happen.
Come on.
Oh, Mark, listen, Mark. What we need from you is the fight. All right, don't let this guy have you. Don't applaud him. Don't applaud what he's saying here. All right, listen. The end of the day is this: they've beaten us home for 7 years in the Premier League. Ain't gonna happen this week.
Okay, Mark. Thank you so much, you lovely man. We'll be back after the break. Thanks, We've got to take a break. Thank you, Mark, for doing that. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 2.
Love you, Mark.
Joel.
What was he doing?
Yeah, that's what he was having a munch. He was having a munch. Honestly, Mark Goldbridge loves a mini Kiev. Welcome back to Sky 212 with Fan TV. We're live all the way till. It's a hot show, and I'll tell you why. It's because we got the cheeky boys on. Oh, I love you with all my heart. I love you so much. Listen, the cheeky boys went to Wembley for the England-Scotland game. We're going to see a VT on that in just a short minute. But first of all, let's wrap up the result of our first Twitter poll tonight. Let's remind ourselves of the question. The question was this: the deadliest Premier League strike duo, in your opinion? The results are in. 34% of you said York and Cole. 41% went Henry and Bergkamp, 13% Shearer Sutton, 12% other. Joel, how would you have voted in the poll?
Honestly, it just makes me laugh how Arsenal seem to win every social media. Like, every social media post is like, oh, it's like people look for Arsenal and they go, yeah.
That's the one.
We're just voting for this. It's just like, it's hilarious.
So you don't disagree, you would be one of the 41%? You would have gone for Henry?
I would definitely say York and Cole. I think Henry and Bergkamp were like, you know what I mean? They played together, but it wasn't like...
It weren't magic.
York and Cole was...
That was telepathic.
No, we can't say it weren't magic.
Oh, that was telepathic. That was like, that was something else. That was...
We can't say it weren't magic, though. It was good.
Come on, it was good. It was good. It was good. It was
magic.
It was magic.
It was magic.
It was good.
Because that's
It wasn't magic.
When Henry was at his best,
after
it was because of
Bergkamp,
Bergkamp.
but what I'm saying is, after Bergkamp left, Henry was still doing his business.
He
You know what I'm saying? York and Cole,
it was something else.
Unbelievable.
So, Dave, you would have gone York and Cole?
Oh, without doubt, and so would have Joel.
OK, we've had some Twitter reaction as well to our first poll. Before we launch poll 2, let's have a little look as well.
Oh, mate, what is this?
Chamcrack and Gervinho from Smiley Time. Smiley Time's gone for Chamcrack and Gervinho. Dave, what are your thoughts on Chamcrack and Gervinho?
Listen, I'll tell you, look.
Two of the best ever signings made in the Premier League.
That is Wenger at his finest.
Next to Jemba.
Oh, God, get out of here.
You said Chamcrack is and Gervinho next to Jemba. This is from Dave. No, I don't agree with Drogba is the best Premier League striker ever because Henry did a lot more than Drogba. Dave, would you agree? Henry did a lot more than Didier Drogba.
Well, of course he did. Without a shadow of a doubt, Henry did it. Henry's absolutely amazing. He's absolutely amazing. He's done a fantastic job, way more than Didier Drogba. Saying that, though, I don't think he's the best Frenchman that's played in the Premier League. That's got to go to Cantona.
Joel, Drogba, the best ever. Matthew's comment earlier, our Welsh fan, he was on the sofa. He said Drogba, the best ever striker in Premier League history.
He was amazing. Yeah. He's really good, but he's not no Thierry Henry, mate.
He's no Thierry Henry.
No Thierry Henry. I'll tell you that.
Matthew is still here, as is Daniel. No one's leaving tonight because it's a hot show.
It's a hot
Fireworks
show.
on the lime green sofa. Let's launch the second Twitter poll. Here's the question. What are you watching tonight? England versus Spain? Italy versus Germany? MasterChef? Or other? Let us know what you're watching tonight. Fan TV, of course, could be one of the others. Tweet us at FanTV UK to get involved with the Twitter poll. As I mentioned earlier, Dave and Joel, our cheeky boys from Cheeky Sport, went to Wembley for the England-Scotland match. Take a look at what happened.
Just touched down at Wembley. Got my 3 lions on the shirt. But where the heck is Joel, though? He's always late. He's always moaning. Oh, David, where are you at, David? Oh, you got to make sure you got to be there on time. But he's always late. Where is Joel? Joel, where are you at, mate? Dave! Oh! Where? Wembley! You're too cheeky, man. You're too cheeky.
He's one of our own! Andy Money! He's one of our own! Rain! Man like rain! On Twitter, you're the best, mate. When you bring out the Ronaldo picture, my favourite player of all time, mate.
He's that Man United through. Nervous, excited, the oldest international of all. Come on, England.
And who's your all-time top goal scorer?
Has to be the best player is going to be Jimmy Baxter.
Jimmy Baxter!
Your beard is better than the two Geordies, mate. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Is your name Brian?
It's Brian!
Kill check.
Oh, Diego Maradona! He put the English out.
Yes, Scottish stab.
Yes, Scottish stab.
Ready? Russell Martin, 85th minute, header. Come on, Scotland!
Oh my gosh, when are you leaving?
The weakest link. Monreal, the weakest link. We love
The
it.
weakest link.
Love it. Let's hear it for the cheeky boys from Cheeky Sport. And listen, you saw it on the screen there, but go to @Cheeky Sport is the Twitter, Dave, isn't it? There is plenty more where that came from. Let's hear it from the Cheeky boys. What was the highlight of it for you, Dave?
Oh, what? The highlight for me was meeting Ryan Giggs, to be honest with you. That's my absolute legend. To be honest with you, one of the greatest players that's played the game. So,
was that the highlight for you, Joel, as well, meeting Giggsy?
For me, it's Ian Wright, because he actually genuinely loves us. So when he sees us, he's all
Hey,
like,
Cheeky!
literally, we've had the chance to meet him, play football with him, and he's always supporting what we do, so it's got to be right.
It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And Joel, just remind us one more time, anyone watching right now that want to get involved and want to follow you and they want to see more of your films, what's the best way to find Cheeky Sport?
YouTube.
Go on YouTube, type in Cheeky Sport, press that subscribe button, and you know what? Come follow us on our journey, man.
And the Cheeky boys are here with us on the lime green sofa every single week at Fan TV. Right. You can also find the Cheeky Sport and the Cheeky boys through us as well here at Fan TV.
Yes.
Let's just go back to the Arsenal, Joel. Now, the fact that Wenger has never beaten Jose in a league game, surely it must be a mental problem now, more than just coincidence. Do you think there's a mental thing there?
I think there was before, but like I said, I reckon this season's a bit different. And I think at the moment, Wenger's got the mental, he's above him at the current moment. He's not a specialist of failure anymore. He's won a few things since that time. And right now, Jose Mourinho is under quite a bit of pressure. So I think he's going to fancy himself this time. He's going to fancy himself.
Pressure makes diamonds, all right? Yeah. Pressure makes diamonds.
Just like
that's the truth. That's the truth.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And I think, end of the day, every single time Manchester United is in a rut, when there's a tough situation going on, all we need is one of these games. One of these big, massive fixtures to come in and give us what we need to come right back to the top. And that is what's going to happen this weekend. Like I said, we did it. Arsenal were thinking, 50 games unbeaten. We're going to hit 50. No, you're not. 49.
That was the third era.
49.
Let me tell you something,
49.
Justin. Parked the bus against Liverpool, right? Lost against Man City, getting their asses whipped all over Europe, right?
Yes.
And players not turning up because they're not up for it. That's all I'm saying.
But the reality of the fact is, when you're talking with Arsenal fans, they argue on a basis of a game-by-game basis because they can't argue on a Premier League basis because they haven't won in 13 years.
Yeah, you had a great manager.
And that's the reality of the fact is, it's always a game-by-game basis. And like our good friend from United stand said, he doesn't want to talk too much because at the end of the day, if you talk too much, then at the end of the day you end up losing. You get it. They're going to get the stick anyway. But the reality of the fact is, whether or not us United fans are going to talk or not, if we end up losing, they're going to give it to us anyway. So at the end of the day, I'm going to be here and I'm going to be passionate about the fact that we're going to win.
Yeah.
I'm convinced. I'm so convinced.
Di Maria, Van Persie, Rooney.
We beat you.
Still rubbish.
Still beat you.
Yeah, still rubbish. We still finished above you. But we still finished above you.
But
you haven't done anything
still haven't won the league.
since Fergie's gone.
14 years.
You haven't done anything
13
since
years
Fergie's
won
gone.
the league.
Oh, we're getting better.
13 years
we're getting better, brother. We're getting better.
13 years.
We're getting much better.
13
Dave,
years.
you haven't done anything since Fergie's gone.
13 years.
But you haven't done anything since Fergie's gone.
13 years.
13 years.
13 years.
Oh, we're getting better.
13
we're
years.
Getting better
13 years.
And better.
Hey, listen, I'm telling you.
We're getting better.
Dave, sorry, just to be clear, how many years?
13 years.
13 years, Joel.
13
It's a fair comment. This is true, but also equally as fair, Dave. You haven't done anything since Fergie's gone. Joel's words, not mine.
FA Cup final, FA Cup winners. We're the current FA Cup winners. They didn't win anything last year. They didn't win nothing.
It's all right.
They got nothing.
It's all right. What do you mean nothing? We won the FA Cup twice.
No, they didn't win.
We won the FA Cup twice.
Last year.
We won the FA Cup twice.
What did you win last year?
The FA Cup twice.
What did you win last year, sorry?
In general.
No, hold on, what was that?
Well, in general.
Hold on.
In general, we won the FA Cup twice.
What did you say?
In general.
Nothing.
The FA Cup twice. The FA Cup twice. The FA Cup twice.
Nothing.
Let me tell you something.
Nothing.
The FA Cup twice.
They won nothing last year.
Oh, man.
We've won the Premier League 20 times. And they've beaten us for 7 years. It's not happening.
Sorry, Dave, just to be clear, what have they won, sorry?
Nothing.
They've won nothing.
I just hope that Arsene Wenger does it on Saturday.
Joel, could this be your season? Could this be Arsenal's season?
Of course it is.
No! Everyone said no! No!
I just want to bring our viewers into this because fireworks during the last commercial break because Nathan, our Middlesboro fan, who's on the floor, will be talking Borough later on in the show, said to you from the floor, Joel, that he thinks Middlesbrough will take 4 points off the Arsenal this season.
Go to Middlesbrough! Go!
Truth is, their star striker's only scored 1 goal this season. So I don't care what they say. Say hi to the grader. Say hi to the grader. Say hi to the grader. Say hi. Yeah, say hi to the grader.
He said you better check yourself.
You better check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Say hi to Juninho. Say hi to Andrea Hill. Say hi to all of them. Ah, here we go.
He said I fancy that. He couldn't sign for Inter or Hammer, but instead he signed for Boro because we're sorting Dynamite.
Breaking news,
like
lovely for the
1 goal.
Breaking news, he's just scored with a penalty. Lallana's just gone off injured for England.
That's what I...
Just to be clear, Joe, our Borough fans were saying you better Petro-check yourself before you Petro-check yourself. Something like that.
Exactly. Like I
Okay,
said.
let's just remind you of the forfeit that we discussed last week. Whoever wins on the 19th, the other person will have to wear the shirt of the opposing team.
No,
that wasn't the deal. Should Arsenal beat Manchester United, Dave, that means you'll have to wear an Arsenal shirt next week live on Fan TV.
That wasn't the deal. There was some kind of hot Vegemite that we had to eat. There was Vegemite that we were eating.
But surely...
Hold on. Isn't the poll still running? The poll for the... Can't people still put in their suggestions for the forfeit?
Is the poll... No, they can. I'm hearing in my ear the fans have spoken. I think we've closed that poll. And whoever loses the game on the 19th will have to wear the opposing team shirt next week.
Justin,
Joel,
if we lose, there'll be another guy that looks like Joel Steen.
Joel, I love you. Dave, I love you. Let's hear it for the cheeky boys. They'll be back on the show next week. Don't go anywhere. We're live on Sky 212. Back into his Fan TV good times. Love you. Oh, I love it. 4 point. Welcome back to Fan TV. We are live on Sky 212. It's a hot show tonight. Fireworks. The cheeky boys have left the building. We've still got Middlesboro yet to come. Let's do an official menu. Here's what's still to come on Fan TV tonight. It's 8:30 by my watch. That means we've got some bloke who's a bit jaunty and he thinks he's a lord joining me on the lime green sofa along with his mate Miles Dilworth. Dilworth. We'll be talking... At 9 o'clock, Chris Darwin will be Skyping in with his Tales from the Top Flight. I love Chris Darwin with all my heart. Then rounding things off, it's the turn of Borough fans. Nathan and Paul, let's hear you. Let's hear you. That'll be on at 9:15. That's what we've got in store for you for the rest of this evening. Right now, it's time for Brentford fans, Miles Dilworth and the John T. Lord. Sounds like a dodgy movie if ever I heard one. Come on, guys. Ooh, Lordy, I'll travel so high. Oh, brother, how you doing? He hates that scarf. How you doing? So, John T, Miles, John T, Miles. Please welcome John T and Miles to the lime green sofa. We are, of course, going to talk Brentford, but big friendly tonight, England versus Spain. Are you also England fans as well as Brentford fans?
Yeah, of course.
OK, so what are your thoughts? Lallana, we get a penalty, scores the penalty, takes penalty, scores. We're winning 1-0. Lallana goes off injured. John T.
See, I mean, that's a big problem for England. He's been our best player consistently the last few games. What's that, 3 goals in the last 3 games?
I think it is. Is it 3 in the last 3?
Yeah.
I think we'll check that. I think it's 3 in the last 3, yeah.
I mean, if we had any hope tonight, I think it was going to be Lallana driving it forward. I'm feeling a bit nervous now.
It's and obviously we'll give you updates throughout the show. I'm not sure how much of the game is left. Matt, any idea how much of the England game is left? It's almost half-time. England are beating Spain 1-0, courtesy of a Lallana penalty. However, Lallana has gone off injured. If you're at home watching the England game now and you'd like to give us your thoughts on the first half, Skype call us Fan TV channel or tweet us at Fan TV UK or join in at fantv.me. Miles, we're hearing that Southgate will be offered a £1.5 million a year contract to manage England until 2020 after tonight's game. FA Chiefs are convinced Southgate is the right man for the job and serious negotiations will begin after tonight's friendly. Your thoughts, Miles?
And what have they been convinced by? His cracking record at Borough? I don't know. Ask these guys.
I'll ask the Borough fans when they come on. But that is the question. What are they convinced by, John T? What is it what has Southgate done that has convinced the FA to this level?
Well, I mean, we had that. Bribes, I mean, as a Brentford fan, I found that Slovenia draw pretty thrilling. I mean, that's how football's meant to be played, right?
Yeah. It's a very, very good question. The deal will also include a break clause in 2018. Apparently, any doubts about Southgate's suitability were dispelled by England's 3-0 defeat of Scotland on Friday. Miles, did you see the England-Scotland game?
No.
Did you, John?
Yeah, I did.
OK, what were your thoughts on the England-Scotland game?
It's a pretty flattering scoreline to us, wasn't it, to be honest?
You think so?
I thought so, yeah. I mean, I thought we were pretty lucky there. I mean, Scotland aren't exactly at their best, and they were actually tearing us apart at some points, weren't they? We were pretty lucky not to concede, I think.
So any doubts that you had were not suitably dispelled as a result of the England-Scotland game?
No, I mean, it's nice to see us actually score a set piece, isn't it? That's a rarity in itself. But, aside from that, no.
3 headers, of course. Each of the goal was a header. No one scored with their feet, Miles.
No, well, why bother? Waste of time, really, isn't it, if you can score with your head?
OK. Shall we talk Brentford? You're 12th in the Championship. You've played 16, you've won 6, you've drawn 4, you've lost 6. You've got 22 points. Last game was a loss, 2-0 versus Fulham. Your next game is Blackburn away. What are your thoughts on your season so far, John T?
Well, it's been a bit inconsistent, hasn't it? I mean, as the stats say, don't they? 6 wins, 6 losses. I mean, it's up and down every week. I mean, last season, I don't think we had a single win against a top 6 team. But this season, it's the bottom teams we're having trouble with. We're not taking the points off people like Rotherham, Wigan. I mean, Wolves are down there now. We still managed to lose to them.
Yeah.
It's just, you don't know which team you're going to get every week.
Would you agree with that sentiment? You don't know which team you're going to get week in, week out, Miles?
Yeah, well, it's the nature of the league, isn't it? I mean, it's competitive. Any team can... But, if we'd beaten Fulham, we would have been 6th, 5th, but we lost, so we're 12th,
Did it hurt to lose to Fulham before the international break? Did that smart?
Let's not talk about
it. I hear there's
Let's talk about it.
I hear there's a YouTube clip of the highlights done with the soundtrack to Titanic as we go down very slowly.
OK.
Which is pretty painful viewing.
You were at the game, were you, both of you?
Yeah, I was
okay.
there.
Was it painful? Was it like watching the Titanic sink?
It felt slower and like a bigger loss.
I've not seen the Titanic sink. So
You haven't seen the film?
No. Who knows?
What unbelievable.
I imagine had I
You know
seen
what, I
it.
wish there had been room for the entire Brentford 11 on that piece of door because we were going down fast.
Okay.
That first half wasn't good. You know, second half, you know what, I think we actually did enough to deserve a goal back, but I can't complain about the result.
Now, how do you think you're going to fare against Blackburn in your next game?
I mean, we should be winning that, really. But again, as you say, we lose against teams we should beat.
You know what, no, I'm actually pretty positive. I think we'll have a good response. We put in a really good shift against QPR. I think Fulham, yeah, you know, it wasn't our greatest game, but I think the boys are going to react to that. I mean, this is what we do. We bounce back and forth.
Yeah. Should you do
yeah, in that case, it's always down.
Do you expect on paper to beat Blackburn at the weekend?
Yeah, you know, and I think as a Brent fan, it's amazing we can even say that now, that we look at Blackburn and we think that's 3 points.
Yeah.
And that's away.
You changed your badge. You've got a new badge as well. I mean, this is an interesting fact. You changed your logo, I think, last week, and there's been much unrest from your club's fans. Is there unrest on the lime green sofa this evening regarding your club's new badge?
Well, you know, I think we're 2 legs short of a B on that crest at the moment.
Right.
It looks a bit waspish to me.
I've been trying to work out whether these bees have got 4 or 6 legs. To be honest, I reckon they've only got 4 legs anyway. So
is this the new badge or is that the old badge?
No, this is the old badge.
Yeah.
So the point is, does it really make a difference?
Right, so of course you are the bees,
Yeah.
but a lot of talk amongst your fellow fans is that the what should be a bee on the badge now appears to be a wasp. What are your thoughts on Waspgate?
I mean, we're a football club, not an anatomy lesson. So I think it looks better. I think, as in, the new crest looks better than this one. But
so you're
they just need to put 2 little black lines, and we're sorted. Just adjust it.
Okay, John T, are you happy with the new badge, or are you a disgruntled fan?
You know what, I'm mostly happy with it. I'm a bit sad because we've had this since '93. I was born in '94, so I've known all my life. But you know what, I think it sums us up. It makes us look a little bit more threatening than a bumblebee anyway, so I'm happy enough with that.
Okay, let's just pause the Brentford chat there because we've got friend of the show, Fan TV regular Kenny Ken on the Skype, who's going to give us an England update. Kenny Ken, you legend, are you there? Gorgeous man.
It's 1-0. It's 1-0 England. All the action happened in the 8th minute, where Spain had a move, broken down Lingard, and it was broken down by Lallana.
Kenny, I'm just going to jump in and let you know that the sound quality is appalling, so we're not hearing much of you at the moment. We don't know if it's your end or our end, so just bear with us, my friend. So all the action happened within the first 8 minutes, did you say, Ken?
Yeah, I can hear the stank to itself. It's definitely not coming from me.
No, can you hear me, Kenny?
I can hear you perfectly.
Yeah, we're getting like 1 in 3 words at the moment. So what we'll do, Ken, we'll come back to you. We'll try and get the sound problem sorted out, and we'll try and come back to you. Okay, Kenny Ken?
Okay, no problem.
Okay, we'll try and come back to Kenny Ken because there's very obvious sound problems there. Let's talk about specific Brentford players just whilst we try and deal with that Kenny Ken sound problem. How much are you missing Lewis McLeod, John T?
Well, I mean, he's leading us in assists this season. I think he's had a tough time at Brentford, hasn't he? I mean, big fanfare when he came from Rangers. I think it was a really strong signing.
Yeah.
Then he had that injury, he's out for the whole season. Get him in dribs and drabs, comes back, he's looking good, and then, you know, we've lost him again.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a big blow.
So it's a big hit for you, Miles. Would you agree?
Yeah. Well, he was looking good with Woods, and McEachran's not quite the same player. So I think we need to get someone in to replace him in January, really.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we're a bit thin there.
You mentioned Woods. In terms of unsung heroes, how good is Ryan Woods?
I think he is pretty well sung these days, though.
I mean, you hear on the terraces, I mean, he's the one to call out for.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't have any goals, doesn't have any assists.
He does the unnoticed work, but I think people appreciate it.
Bearing in mind to keep it clean, but is there an awesome Ryan Woods-based chant that you could give us? Keep it clean. No, seriously, come on.
Maybe he's not.
I think they'll never believe he's not Scholes. He's magic, you know. It's probably the standard one for him.
Okay, let's hear it. I like it. Sing it. Sing it, says Nathan Bauer fan.
You know.
3, 2, 1. Sing it.
You'll never believe he's not Scholes. He's Ryan, you know. You'll never believe he's not Scholes. He's magic, you know. You'll never believe he's not Scholes. Ryan, you know. You'll never believe he's not Scholes.
Let's hear it. Come on.
Just for people who don't know who he is ginger, so that's where the whole song comes from.
And central midfield.
But I'm assuming everyone knows Brentford players back of the hand. So.
John T, in my opinion, based on that, you are every bit a lord. Come on. Love it. Beautiful. Let's do a celebrity wash bag clue, because in case you didn't know, Miles and John T...
We have to play that one, because I reckon who that is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, hang on a minute. Well, without saying the name, based on... We've only had one clue so far, the Essential GCSE Latin book. Based on this clue, you think you know whose wash bag I've kleptoed.
Yes.
You both do.
Yeah.
And on the floor,
100%.
everyone thinks they know. Let me give you a second clue, just in case you don't know. It is a New York City fridge magnet. Is that underlined what you already thought?
Yeah, completely. Yeah,
if
too
you
easy.
think you know, too easy, says Lordy. If you think you know whose wash bag I've kleptoed, I can't help myself, then tweet at FanTVUK, #DirtyKlepto, or email, if you don't have the Twitter, join in at fantv.me, or Skype call us FanTV channel. You've got the Latin GCSE book, and you've got a New York City fridge magnet. I'll tell you what, for the second time tonight, why don't we have a foul, please? Not a foul, come on. Of course, in the third hour of the show, I will be embarking on my forfeit, which is to eat a foul whilst wearing an I Love Bristol Rovers t-shirt. We've got a U so far. Let's have another vowel, please. It's an E. It's the last letter in this person or player's Christian name. You've got the wash bag, or you think you do. Miles, do you think you know the name we're looking for?
That's the same name as the clue in the wash bag.
Okay,
What?
it's not. No,
No,
it's not.
what?
It's not. Lordy, do you think you know which name we're looking for?
No, I was with Miles. I thought it was in the same name.
Oh no, it's entirely different
player,
feature.
different player.
player.
Oh, I'm
different
still on the
feature.
wash bag, got no
If
idea
you
what
think
that
you know, get in touch. We're going to take another quick break. Don't go anywhere if you're watching on Facebook Live or YouTube. Refresh. It's Fan TV on Sky 212. Back in 2. Thank you, guys. Brilliant. That's definitely a B, though, isn't it? I mean, that's definitely... Welcome back to Fan TV. We are live on Sky 212, all the way through till 10 o'clock tonight. If you're watching us on Facebook Live or YouTube, please don't forget to refresh at the top of every hour. We don't want to lose you. He's back, Fan TV regular, one of our favourites, friend of the show, with an England update, Kenny Ken. Are you there, baby?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Kenny, Kiss the guns for us, Kenny. Ken, kiss the guns.
I've got me Arsenal. I'll go in.
Kenny, Ken, we love you. Sorry about the technical problems earlier.
That's all right, no problem.
Let's please have your England first half update. It's all happening, isn't it?
Well, like I said, it's petered out. I'm just checking. It's 44 minutes, 15 seconds. It's 1-0 still to England. England scored in the 8th minute, a penalty from Alan Lallana. Pepe Reina, the Napoli goalkeeper, is in goal for Spain. And basically brought down Vardy when he was put through by Lallana in the 8th minute. Lallana's put the penalty away. 20 minutes later, Lallana's gone off with an injury and Phil Walcott's replaced him. The game's kind of pitted out. It's basically England attacking from deep, basically playing on the break, and Spain trying to get through. But at the moment, it's kind of petered out. Standout player for me today at the moment is Danny Rose. I think he's been very solid down the left.
He's been one of our few good players for England at the moment, recent times, Danny Rose, Ken.
Oh, absolutely. He's not too bad for a Spurs player anyway.
Kenny, do we deserve to be 1-0 up, courtesy of that Lallana penalty?
Definitely. I think England, like I said, they're pressing Spain in areas where Spain can't hurt in the national side. They started off by playing deep and trying to get runners, but I think what was happening now is what they're doing now is that England are trying to stop Spain from playing Spain out the back. So as we watch, Walcott and Vardy are basically being on the front line of defence and basically stopping Spain from playing a normal passing game. As you can imagine, Spain are a very patient team. They're not going to be too bold about going in at 1-0 down. Still, there's 2 minutes of injury time. Nothing's really happening, but Spain are a very stubborn side in terms of their passing. They're not going to change their style for anyone. And I expect, like I said, them to play the same way in the second half.
Ken, what was the chat at half-time about Lallana's injury? Do we think it's serious? Have you got an update?
Well, it's like he's pulled up and he's gone straight down a tunnel, but no one's really said anything. I think they've seen it as a precautionary knock. But I know there's a few Liverpool fans be very worried because they've got a massive game this weekend. But as far I think it looked very precautionary. It was a little knock, and it didn't look too serious to me anyway. But you never know with the injury. It wasn't for me. It didn't look like a muscle injury at all. It just looked like a knock and a precautionary knock. He's gone off down the tunnel.
And how about your man Theo Walcott? We all know you love him. Is he looking lively?
I think Theo's just trying to find it very difficult getting a game because I think the sort of tactics that England are playing, they're putting men behind the ball. They're not so much trying to hit Spain in the break. They're doing it with a bit of difference because I think what is happening, when England get the ball, they haven't got the sort of runners and athletic runners that Theo maybe they have at Tottenham and Arsenal. So what England is trying to do is that they're kind of defending in two rows of four. So when Spain are in the half, they've got men behind the ball. Then when Spain are trying to attack from the back, they're asking like Vardy, Sterling and Lingard to sort of stop Spain from creating from the back. So it's very very defensive tactics by Gareth Southgate. But it's very understandable. Spain will just kill you. If you give Spain space, they're going to kill you. There's some players out for Spain that we can recognise. We've got David Silva, the Spanish captain. It's just half time now. 1-0 to England. I think they've got players like Vitolo. They've got Azpilicueta at the left, and they've got Carvajal. So they've got a very strong side out. But I think that, like I said, I don't think Spain will be too disappointed. I think they're just going to be playing very patient. One player I'm looking out for who's been on the ball quite a bit is Thiago Alcantara, who's plays for Bayern Munich. So he's a player I've got my eye on. But at the moment, England look very comfortable.
OK, lovely. And very briefly, Ken, Spain missing Costa tonight?
Not really. They got the top goal scorer in La Liga last year in Aduriz, but he hasn't had managed to get a kick. I think what David Silva is trying to do is that he's trying to get support from playing that just behind him. But I think but the thing is with Spain is that because they're moving the ball pretty slowly and England defending properly, they haven't managed to get any service to Aduriz. So Diego Costa's really isn't that missed, anyway. I think he's got a bigger fish to fry this weekend. OK,
Ken, will you Skype us in again later on with another update?
I'll be more than happy to.
We love you, Ken, everybody. Our England correspondent tonight. We love you, Ken. We'll speak to you later. I've got Lordy and Miles, of course, on the lime green sofa. A lot of chat A lot of debate amongst Brentford fans about your new badge. It's been redesigned. Is it a bee, which is, of course, what it should be, or is it now, in fact, a wasp? If you chaps were to design the next Brentford badge, Miles, what would you go for?
Or, yeah, you may as well. I mean, just admit that it's a wasp now. Like,
Yeah.
London
Admit
Wasps
that
have
it's a
gone the
wasp.
brand, take the brand, yeah.
Okay, so you're saying go all out for the wasp?
Yeah, I mean, we're red and white anyway, so it's not even proper bees.
So the colours are the most
Yeah.
important thing, of course, not whether or not it's a bee or a wasp on the badge.
Yeah.
If you were tasked to design the next badge, Lordy, how would you design it? What would you go for?
I mean, well, you got to have the bees in there. I mean, they're iconic for us now. They always
You've
have
got to have
been.
the bees.
You got to have the
Miles, what are you
bees.
talking
I mean,
about,
yeah,
Miles?
I don't know what he's on
You're
about.
talking crazy. You're the bees, for
Let's
goodness
chuck
sake.
him out. Yeah. You know what? I quite.
Sake, Miles.
You know, I quite want the swords back in. We got the 3 for Middlesex here. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like you need some West London appreciation in there at the moment, because otherwise, as he says, you just got wasps, and you don't want that North stuff.
So are you saying that on the new badge, the swords have gone?
They've gone. It's literally, it's just a wasp in the middle. Well, it's a bee. It's
And
a
then
bee
1889,
in the middle.
that's
Yeah.
it.
It's just a big bee.
It looks a bit like the new city one, with like
with
the outside circle and then just something in the middle.
Okay, if we've got any other Brentford fans watching at home, what are your thoughts on the new badge? Is it a bee or is it now a wasp? You can tweet us at FanTVUK, or you can email joinin@fantv.me, or Skype call us. Fan TV channel, Brentford fans, get in touch. What are your thoughts on the design of your badge? Because it has got genuinely a lot of Brentford fans talking, Lordy, has it not?
Yeah, no, it has. I mean, you know what? Like, I'm with Matt Benham on this. I think he's done a lot of good for the club, so I think trust his direction. You know, the logic is, you know, they want to see it, and you want the immediate impact of who we are. And I think it does that clearer than this. I mean, you know, I went up to the Newcastle away day the other week, and I got out the bus, and some Newcastle fans saw this and told me to F off in less polite language, because he thought
Because
he thought it was Sunderland.
They thought it was Sunderland, okay.
No, I'm totally with him on that. Yeah,
That makes sense. That makes sense.
So you know what? You know, if there's going to be less confusion and people know who we are straight off, that's fair enough by me.
Okay, Miles, we are just 2 short months away from the next transfer window. What do Brentford need to do to strengthen the squad come January?
Yeah, someone to back up Scott Hogan. I reckon probably someone. If it's a short-term loan, to cover McLeod, probably in the centre.
Yeah.
And then, I reckon we think a winger as well. We're not convinced by we've got enough on the wings.
Any rumours, Lordy, about who you might be going after come transfer window time?
Well, I think the most interesting rumour from a Brentford point of view is whether we're going to get Hotter back in the team or not.
Yeah.
So he's been out on loan at Ibar for personal reasons. I mean, still a big cult hero for us, and he always will be. A couple of goals against Fulham in the last minute. We'd love to see him back, and there's rumblings he's not that happy out there, so hopefully.
Okay, a realistic chance of getting him back though?
Well, I mean, he's still signed for us. He signed a contract extension, not too...
I think it's up to him, because he left. We didn't want him to leave, but he left because he wanted to go back to Spain. So it depends, we don't know. It could do, depends if he wants to.
And who else are you looking at? Who else would you like to see coming to Brentford come transfer window time? Or who else do you think you should be going after, Miles?
So, I heard a rumour that we might be in for Jerome Sinclair, the ex-Liverpool boy. He's gone to Watford now.
Okay.
So I saw that the other day, which I reckon would be quite a good signing, because I think we need a bit more pace, which I think he can provide.
Okay.
He didn't get the chance at Liverpool, but I mean, you saw him for their reserve team games. I mean, he can put it away.
Lordy, it's your first time on the lime green sofa. Would you like to call for a broomer on that one?
Yeah, you know what?
Do it, do it.
To Brentford.
Jerome Sinclair to Brentford. Brentford fans, you heard this rumour here first, courtesy of Lordy. What are your thoughts on that? Not only a new badge, Miles, but also a new stadium on the way. Is this a new chapter in the life of Brentford Football Club?
You hope a good one. I mean, we'll all be sad to see the terrace go. We love the terrace. Yeah, I think the main thing is whether we can fill the new one.
Yeah.
Because we get regular 12,000 these days, and it's a good atmosphere. And then if you can't quite fill the new enlarged stadium,
Yeah.
That's always the worry for any new club that moves ground.
Absolutely.
Will the atmosphere go?
Increase capacity.
Yeah.
Can you fill it? Will you lose atmosphere? Your capacity will go up by how much, Lordy?
I think to around 20,000.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's a good
12 now.
7.5 increase, I think.
A good 7,500 increase. Can you fill it, or are you concerned in any way about losing atmosphere?
You know, I'm concerned about the atmosphere because the terraces at the moment, both home and away, it's great. I mean, you've got people jumping up and down, banging on the back wall. You can make a lot of noise there. I'm just worried if people are sitting down, you lose a bit of that, like, enthusiasm.
Safe standing is an issue that we've talked about quite a lot on Fan TV. Will there be a safe standing area in your new stadium?
So not as far as I'm aware. You know, I'm hoping they look at Celtic this season and see that it's working out well.
Yeah.
And, you know, they bring that into force before we start building. Because, you know, I think a lot of the Brentford fans would love to have a safe standing zone behind the goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think a lot of fans around the country will on that.
Absolutely. Miles, your thoughts on... Your thoughts on safe standing being introduced into your new stadium?
Yeah, definitely. Like, if they get it done in time. I mean, it depends when we start building, because we haven't even started building it yet. But, like, apparently, yeah, it could happen soon, reintroducing safe standing. So, yeah, absolutely.
OK, we've got a couple of reactions to our Twitter poll. Let's have a look at these tweets. First one from Dean Bernard. I'm watching Powerpuff Girls. Quality. Let's remind ourselves of the question. Can we see the question again? For the benefit of anyone that didn't see the second Twitter poll question. We don't have it. It's what are you watching tonight? And Dean is watching Powerpuff Girls. Quality. Let's have the next tweet. This is from Dave at Clinical Grig. I'm watching Cheeky Sport on Fan TV. Oh, boom! Boom! That is lovely. Have we got any more tweets in? Keep your tweets coming in. We got a question for the lads on the sofa. Where do the Brentford fans think Wigan Athletic will finish this season? We got 30 seconds, Lordy.
You know, I think they're going to finish below us, and that's all I care about.
That's all you care about, more so than winning the league? You care that Wigan finish below you?
All right, I'll rephrase that. You know, I got a lot of love for Will Grigg, ex-Brentford player. I'm just sad we didn't come up with the...
Miles, 20 seconds, sorry. Lordy, where are Wigan going to finish?
Fill the last relegation spot. 21st.
You think Wigan will fill the last relegation spot? Love to hear from all you Wigan fans that are watching Fan TV right now. Am I back with the boys after this break? Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 2 with Fan TV. Good times. Thanks, Dave. Welcome back to Fan TV. We are live on Sky 212, Facebook Live and YouTube, of course, if you're watching on Facebook Live or YouTube. Hopefully you've refreshed because we don't want to lose you. We are live all the way till 10 p.m. I've got Lordy and I've got Miles on the lime green sofa. And I've got Middlesboro coming up later on. It's Nathan and Paul. Nathan and Paul. Love it. They are back on Fan TV. And in just a few short moments, we'll be talking to the legend that is Chris Darwin on the Costas for tonight's Tales from the Top Flight. But first, this. Broomer, 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 Broomer. OK, let's see what the Brentford boys think of this breaking rumour. Nigel Rio Coker to Brentford. Nigel Rio Coker, Miles. Rio Coker to Brentford.
For the cult status alone, you've got to take that.
For cult status alone, you would take Coker to Brentford.
Absolutely.
Lordy, Rio Coker to Brentford.
No,
Thoughts?
I couldn't agree more. I mean, we lost our cult figure last year. We need a new hero. You know, bring it on.
You're all over it. You're saying bring Coker on. You love the Coker.
Love it. Love it.
OK, he's a massive Coker head. I'm sorry, desperately sorry. Ooh, Lordy, he loves the Coker.
That's weak.
That was really weak. Really, serious point though, kids. Stay off drugs. Let's go. No, come on, we all have a laugh, but seriously, stay off drugs. It's time for Tales from the Top Flight.
Tales from the Top Flight.
With friend of the show, the one and only, Chris Darwin. Are you there, baby?
How you doing?
Chris, I love you, brother. Before we get to our chat, we've just had a breaking rumour. We've got two Brentford fans on the lime green sofa for the first time. Nigel Rio Coker to Brentford. What do you think about that?
I think it's amazing that when you put the names into a hat, somebody actually came up with Michael Rio Coker. That's amazing.
Fantastic. Lots to get through tonight, Chris, you lovely man. Let's start with England's 3-0 win over Scotland. What were your thoughts on that?
I know, it was incredible, wasn't it? On Friday night, Liverpool fans were all over international football. They thought it was the greatest thing in the world. Now Lallana's gone off injured. They all hate international football and it's the worst thing in the world. So, yeah, you can't really please the Liverpool fans at the moment. You've got to be a good team to wear pink, haven't you?
Yes, absolutely.
And Scotland are not a good team. I mean, Mel Gibson will be turning in his grave having seen that Scotland performance from the side at Wembley on Friday. Anybody thought it was going to be a classic game? The fact that it was managed by two former Middlesbrough managers would have been the first clue. The second clue would have probably been Scotland's lineup. I mean, deciding to leave two of their better players on the subs bench would suggest that Strachan's looking for the quickest way out of the job rather than trying to qualify for another expanded tournament. But I give Wayne Rooney a bit of stick, you may have noticed, but we found something good on Friday. Turns out he is actually better at corners than Harry Kane. Who thought it? So the deafening noise he got from Wembley Stadium on Friday night wasn't necessarily the fans. It was all the Liverpool fans quickly typing into their mobile phones, telling everyone how Liverpool were going to win England the World Cup next time round. But I don't think that's probably going to happen either. Danny Rose and Kyle Walker actually put in the sort of performance at Wembley that Pochettino would love to see from them in some Champions League games. But then again, they weren't exactly playing wingers with any skill, brain or talent whatsoever. So yeah, all in all, I wasn't that impressed.
Chris, with regards to Gordon Strachan, no official word yet, but he can't be long for the job, can he?
He can't be, but who are they going to give it to? Nobody wants that job. I mean, I heard Graham Souness being talked about the other day as being a potential shout. I guess that's because he's about the only Scotsman who hasn't done the job yet. So, no, mind you, it would get him out of Sky Studio, so that would be quite useful.
Well, somewhat flippantly, Chris, when Strachan himself was asked when he was appointed, he said they should have got George Graham.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout, George. I mean, he's probably right with his finger on the pulse of modern-day football at the moment, having not done anything for, a decade now? Mind you, with Scotland's current tactics, he'd probably fit right in.
And Chris, we heard a rumour today about Northern Ireland manager Michael O'Neill going to Scotland. Does that make any sort of sense to you?
No.
Yeah, it's a crazy one, isn't it? Yeah, not one of our better rumours, that.
None whatsoever.
Charlie Nicholas has also said Strachan has got to go. Chris, do you think he's got to go?
He's got to go. You cannot take your team. I mean, let's be fair. The Simpsons predicted that any team that wore pink at Wembley were going to get absolutely battered. They predicted that around back in 2002. So Gordon Strachan taking his team, a country that gave us Jimmy Johnson, Graham Souness, Alan Hansen, Kenny Dalglish, and Alan Hutton, and you go out and you play in pink. That's just nah.
And Chris, before we move on, where on earth was Burke, the Bundesliga player, plays for Leipzig? Why on earth is Strachan not choosing him?
Well, that's what I mean about not picking your best team. You've got a kid who's absolutely tearing up the Bundesliga. He's the Scottish Gareth Bale, and you decide to leave him on the bench when you're going up against fullbacks. And no disrespect to Walker and Rose, will give you a chance to get down the side and maybe cause some damage. Scotland, to be fair, should have been 3-1 up before England broke and got their second goal. So with a bit of quality in there, you never know.
Chris, we're just hearing, we've got breaking news. You're not going to believe this, brother. Vardy has just scored for England.
Come on! That's all of us.
Brilliant.
Unbelievable reaction on the floor tonight. Can you believe it? Vardy has scored, for goodness sake.
Fantastic. That means I've got to rewrite tomorrow's column when we get off this.
Chris, so let's have your thoughts on England-Spain. What are you thinking?
From what I've seen so far, I mean, Spain are well known for not giving a rat's whatever about friendly games, and they showed that with their lineup. To be fair, it was a fantastic ball in from Lallana to Vardy to win the penalty. Pepe Reina showing why David De Gea is a far better goalkeeper than he is. Very good penalty from Lallana, but it's a typical friendly at Wembley.
Yeah.
We 1-0 up. So what if we win? Let's do it in actually when it counts.
And Chris, we're hearing today that Southgate will be offered by the FA a £1.5 million a year contract, regardless of tonight's result, to manage us all the way till 2020. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, Gareth will be chuffed, bearing in mind that every single England manager before him's about £5 million a year. He'll feel really special with that contract offer.
Allardyce was being paid, was it £2 million a year or £2 million plus, wasn't it?
It was $2 million plus, I think. I mean, even Hodgson was on something ridiculous. I think he was the most paid manager in Euro 2016. So if you're worse off than Roy Hodgson, life is taking a turn for the worse.
We're hearing the deal will also include a break clause in 2018.
Yeah, conveniently just after we crash out of the World Cup in a disappointing group.
OK, but it would be a good result, of course, if we end up winning this friendly tonight 2-0. Of course, that would be something to celebrate, surely.
No.
I love it. Brilliant. OK, let's move on to general Premier League chat, Chris. What's happening?
Well, not a great deal, but there's a few things to talk about. I mean, Harry Kane and Hugo Lloris, those working-class footballers called Harry and Hugo, they're apparently not going to be sticking around to bottle a title challenge in their new Tottenham Stadium, because they've just heard that Sissoko's earning twice as much as they are, and understandably they're not too happy about that. And Spurs, for some reason, aren't prepared to match Sissoko's wage. So it looks like they could be off in the summer, which would be great news for Spurs fans.
Yeah, it would seem, Chris, that Levy will not break his wage ceiling. So Lloris is in a transfer talks at the moment, and we're hearing that if Lloris doesn't get what he's looking for, then neither will Kane. So you think there's every chance that Kane will be off?
Yeah, there's every chance. I mean, the guy's got a fair shout. I'm not all for paying sort of footballers crazy money, but if Sissoko is earning more than you are, then you need to go and have a word with your chairman. Though, to be fair, Sissoko did have a marginally better Euro 2016 than Harry Kane did, so I can understand how he ended up getting that whopping contract.
Yeah. Are you getting excited about the Arsenal-Man U game on the 19th, Chris?
Yeah, a little bit. Arsen's a little bit worried. He said it was suicidal if Sanchez was to play against Chile this international week. I'm not sure who's topping themselves just yet, but bearing in mind he was declared fit to play by Chile, it could be Wenger that's on a bit of a suicide watch at the moment. Also, the Spanish forward Lucas Perez has joked that it's been hard to learn English whilst at Arsenal. And Jack Wilshere completely agreed with him.
Chris, have you heard the rumour today that Wayne Rooney will go to America to play for a new MLS franchise in Los Angeles when his contract ends at Manchester United in 2018?
I hadn't, but bearing in mind that they're just getting rid of 2 past their English players, there is a vacancy for someone the size of Rooney to take up both those spaces, I presume. So yeah, it could well happen. I mean, Lampard has just said this week that he's leaving New York once his contract expires, which got Chelsea fans overly excited that he might be coming back to Stamford Bridge. Gerrard has said today that he's got offers both on the pitch and off the pitch in the UK to come back and play. I'm presuming the offer he's got on the pitch is one of the Chelsea players offering to help him up after he slipped over and cost Liverpool the title a couple of years ago.
Chris, you absolute legend. Always a pleasure to talk to you. Thanks for Skyping in. Will I talk to you again next week?
Of course you will, mate. I shall see you then.
You lovely man. Subscribe to Tales from the Top Flight. It's awesome. That's Chris. We've got a picture of the Brentford kit. Have a look at the new Brentford kit. Let's have a look at it. Let's see this new kit, the Brentford kit, on the big screen. That is lovely. Look at it. Ooh, Lordy. Oh, Lordy, have mercy. What is going on there? Let's hear it for Lordy and Miles. That is when a picture says 1,000 words. Let's hear it for the Brentford fans. First time on the lime green sofa. Come on. Love you, brother. We'll be back into this Fan TV on Sky 212. Thank you, brother. Everyone's doing it. Oh, it's the mannequin challenge. Nailed it. Boom. Welcome back to Welcome back to Fan TV. We are live on Sky 212 all the way till 10 p.m. tonight. I will be welcoming our 2 fantastic Middlesbrough fans, Nathan and Paul, friends of the show, onto the lime green very shortly to talk all things Borough and all things England. In case you didn't know, we're currently beating Spain 2-0. Come on. It's only a friendly. It's only a friendly. Once again, I've kleptoed a wash bag. You've had 2 clues so far. Clue number 1 was a GCSE Learn Latin book. Clue number 2 was this New York City fridge magnet. Clue number 3, I think, should be on your screen. Have a look at this. No, it's not on your screen. Here it is. Quality. It's a football stadium. So you can clearly see a stadium there. If you haven't got it, even I've got it. If you haven't got it by now, what you're doing, tweet at FanTVUK, hashtag Dirty Klepto, email, join in at fantv.me, or Skype call us, FanTV channel, if you think you know who tonight's Celebrity Wash Bag belongs to. Also, just to remind you, I had Anish and Pav, my fellow Punjabi Rams, on the sofa with me last week. I stupidly forgot to wear my Punjabi Rams badge. Therefore, I was set a forfeit, courtesy of Toby Tarrant. My forfeit is, I'll be doing it this final hour, in half an hour, I will be eating a fowl whilst wearing an I Love Bristol Rovers t-shirt. I've had a couple of tweets in related to that. Here's the first one. This is from Chris Lewis. Is the ambulance and ice-cold toilet roll on standby, JLC? Don't say I didn't warn you, lol. I won't be lolling once I've eaten this fowl. It's the hottest curry known to man. This curry is so hot that when we put in several phone calls to various restaurants in London town to provide me with a fowl tonight, most of them said they wouldn't even do it. That's how hot it is. We've had another tweet. This is from my fellow Punjabi Rams. We take it seriously. If you forget to wear your Punjabi Rams badge, JLC will be doing his forfeit live on the box at 7. Hey, JLC, courtesy of Aladdin Brick Lane, your chicken fowl curry's arrived. Unbelievable. I'll be eating a fowl whilst wearing an I Love Bristol Rovers shirt in about half an hour from now. Don't go anywhere. It's literally a hot show. Shall we welcome our Middlesbrough fans back onto the lime green? It's Paul. It's Nathan. Get on the lime green sofa. Paul, you lovely man. Hey, brother, how you doing, Nathan? You lovely man. Our brilliant Borough fans, very, very vocal on the floor tonight. And we love you for it. No, not so brilliant. Paul, England are currently beating Spain 2-0. What are your thoughts?
Take that. 2-0 up. People say, it's only a friendly, but a win's a win at the end of the day.
Yeah, Nathan wins a win, and of course it means an awful lot to Gareth Southgate. Is a big, big thing for him to beat Spain at Wembley tonight.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people sort of slag him off for, he's only done things at Middlesbrough. He doesn't have a lot to show, but people forget that he did a lot with the under-21s. Yeah. And, he has proved himself, and, he's done well since he's taken over the job. I don't necessarily think he's possibly the best man for the job, and I think if Wenger doesn't win anything this season, I think Wenger is going to be talked about come May, come June time. If he's available and his contract has expired and he wants to move on to something different, I think Southgate's he's going to play second fiddle to that.
Okay, Nathan, let's just go back a few days, because a lot of Borough fans were calling the England-Scotland game one of the worst Middlesbrough managers against one of the worst Middlesbrough managers.
Well, what we say is that what happens is people come to Middlesbrough, they fail, and then they go to Sky Sports punditry. We had Tony Mowbray did that, Strachan did that, Southgate did that for a lot. It just seems to be the route for everyone. Yeah. But we're not focused on England football at the moment, to be honest. We're just so excited to be in the Premier League, I think.
In Middlesbrough, quite right too, of course, but in Middlesbrough's history, Paul, who would you say was the worst of the two managers for your club between Southgate and Strachan?
It was Strachan for sure.
For days.
I mean, with Southgate, he was our club captain. I think maybe he got fast-tracked to the manager job too soon. He'd probably agree with that himself. Yeah. I think he came under maybe a bit of unfair criticism. I know that when he got sacked, I think we were just off second position championship. We beat Derby 2-0 that evening.
Bizarre.
And then
Bizarre.
And then he got sacked after midnight, and maybe a bit unfair. And then obviously Strachan came in, absolutely brutal.
I'm just hearing in my ear, your current manager, of course, Karanka, was the ITV pundit tonight.
He's on tonight.
He's on tonight.
I saw Karanka, my friend. Oh my Lord.
I'll tell you. Oh, you've got a song for Karanka?
Oh,
come on.
Well, we just like to say this is his 3-year anniversary. I think it was on Sunday, was it?
It was. Yes, it was.
3 years.
A beautiful little song for him.
Ready? To the tune of La Bamba.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
I talk Karanka. I talk Karanka. Danny, I holler.
Gaston Ramirez, Victor Valdez, Alvaro Negredo.
Gotta be 2 verses.
Aitor Karanka. Aitor Karanka, Danny Ayala.
Stop.
That is sensational. I'm not even kidding. I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to say that is the best performed football chant we've ever had on the Lime Green so far.
Yes, mate.
Phenomenal skills, boys. Absolutely sensational.
Thank you very much.
Let's talk about Karanka. You're quite right, of course. Nathan, you know better than me. Sunday just gone. He celebrated 3 years in the job. Let's talk about Karanka's time over the last 3 years on the whole. You've got to say, great job done.
Absolutely amazing. I mean, we were sat here, 3 or 4 weeks ago, and you were rightly saying that some people were questioning Karanka and saying, you know, is he top of the bill to be sacked? And we were sat here and we were saying, no, not at all. People need to calm down and just take stock of what he's done over the last few years and think back to a year and a half ago or a year ago and where we are now, and we would have snapped people's fingers off to be in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And then look where we are now. I said that in October, we both said in October we needed to take 4 points. Now, we thought a few of those were going to come from Watford. Watford, you know, they deserved their 3 points. They did us over, to be honest. They did very well. We didn't expect, as much as we were taking the mick out of the guy earlier, we didn't expect any points from Arsenal, but we got a point at Arsenal, we got a comfortable 3 points against Bournemouth. And you've got to look into, you know, we've played a lot of good teams now. Now we're looking towards Chelsea. That's obviously not an easy 3 points. But we've got Southampton, Hull, Swansea. There's lots of points coming up to Christmas, and then we're going to see really where Middlesboro are sat. And, you know, we're coming into January, we're going to see where, you know, where likely we're going to be finishing.
Massive game coming up, of course, against Chelsea. We'll talk about that very shortly. But we've got another Skype caller, friend of the show, Nick, our Italian, and Aussie rules football fans. Not Aussie rules, is it? That's more like rugby. Nick, Nick, I'm a hot mess. I'm in a K-hole. Give me a break. I'm on the shamcrack. I'm all smacked up on the shamcrack, Nick. You know what I'm like. I can't help myself.
That
Just
dirty
don't give me
klepto.
any sexy times after midnight, Nick. You know what happened last time. Nick, give us an update on the Italy-Germany game, you lovely man.
Yeah, still 0-0. Not too much happening at the moment. It was a decent first half. Italy came out strong. They had a few opportunities, but Germany kind of came into the match and then really dominated a lot, which is kind of disappointing for Italy, given that it is somewhat of a German B team. So at halftime, there were a few changes. So it seems like they're taking it more like a friendly now. So the intensity's kind of been lost a bit. So it's a bit flat at the moment.
OK, Nick, let's briefly move on to the Australia-Thailand game. That finished, I think, 2-2 tonight.
Yeah, not good at all. Thailand, basically, with all due respect, were the whipping boys of the group. They lost all 4 matches, and we were expected to win this comfortably. So to draw with them is a big opportunity lost. We could have gone top of the group. So now we're sitting there in 3rd place in our qualifying group. So, you know, we should still safely get through, but it was a very disappointing performance.
So, Nick, your next game is a must-win, surely?
Yeah, it's starting to get to that stage. We really need to... We haven't lost yet, but 3 draws is not really good. It's more concerning the fact that we haven't actually scored a goal in open play. Our last 3 goals have been penalties.
Yeah.
And to not be able to score a goal in open play against Thailand, again, with all due respect, but that's simply not good enough. And it's getting back to our ability to really not produce the world-class strikers that we have in the past. And when you look at the fact that we're still relying on a 36-year-old Timmy Cahill, who's not in the squad at the moment, but it's a major concern for the future.
So you're saying that the Thailand game on paper is a game that you absolutely should have won?
We should be beating teams like that 3-4-0 at least. A draw is absolutely unacceptable. The Australian, as an example, Mark Bosnich, actually, who commentates in Australia, he called the team, he called the performance pathetic, basically, after the game, and it was pretty much that. OK, a pathetic performance from Australia. Nick, we're running out of time again, but lovely to speak to you, brother. We'll see you on the Lime Green very soon. No worries. See you soon. Thank you, Nick, you lovely man. That's Nick.
our Socceroo expert and Italian fan, of course. Got a couple of minutes before the break, boys. I just want to ask you about your chairman, Steve Gibson, who was officially made an OBE at Buckingham Palace this week, honoured for services to economy, sport and the community. I think he's been in charge for 20 years now. What would you like to say about your chairman, mate?
Leave it to Paul.
Yeah.
Paul. Like, genuinely.
The man is an absolute, utter legend. For the area, he's stuck by Middlesbrough Football Club through thick and thin. Every transfer window, he backs us. There's so much passion. Even on the promotion day at home against Brighton last season, you know, as soon as that pitch invasion and the final whistle went, the man was in tears. He got his OBE. He deserves to be knighted. He should become Sir Steve Gibson. Every single Borough fan, and I'm sure a lot of other fans of different clubs around the country would definitely agree with that.
There's not a home game that goes by, no matter what the score is, whether we're getting ran over, that we don't sing "There's only one Stevie Gibson." And we truly mean that.
His name rings round the riverside every single home game.
I mean,
even away days as well.
Managers come and go, players come and go, and we have you know, our absolute legendary status players like Juninho. Like, he's always going to be there, but you know, and he's one of our favourite. Like, he is the favourite of the entire fans, but anyone is trumped by Steve Gibson.
Yeah, not a bad word to say about him.
Not at all.
Okay, thank you for that, boys. Lovely words there about your chairman, Steve Gibson, who got his OBE today. It's time for another celebrity washbag clue before the break. Now, Paul, Nathan, look long and hard at this.
Yeah.
Looking over there for?
It's just disturbing, mate, that's all.
We'll be back after the break. Welcome back to Fan TV. We are live on Sky 212 all the way till 10 p.m. tonight. That was our final celebrity washbag clue of the evening. I'm a hashtag Dirty Klepto. I gave you a series of clues this evening: a football ground, a New York City fridge magnet, a GCSE Latin book, and this animal. Which was, of course, obviously, a swan. We've got a winner.
Hashtag Planet Earth.
We got a winner for tonight's celebrity washbag. I can reveal the owner of the washbag was, of course,
Frank Lampard, yeah.
You said it, yeah, Frank Lampard. Elliot Sweeney, congratulations.
I told you. What did I tell you?
Emil Heskey.
It was Lampard.
Love you, Sweeney. He's right, Frank Lampard. Shut it, Sweeney. Okay, can I have another foul, please? Let's see if we can get any closer. The foul, of course, is coming up shortly. 3 forks. Yeah, you know you want to, Paul. Okay, you've had 2 vowels so far. It's an E and a U. It's almost impossible. Let's have another vowel, please.
Emil Heskey.
And give us another one. Okay, that's better. We've got A-I-E from the first name, U-A-A from the second name. Any idea, Nathan?
Emil Heskey?
No.
Prolific striker?
It's not Emil Heskey. Paul, any idea?
Nah.
Not a clue. We'll keep that one going for now. Are we launching a 3rd Twitter poll this evening? No, we're not, because the show is just too packed, but we have got some reaction to the 2nd Twitter poll. Let's have a little look at this. This is from Dawn Rigby, the ex-Manchester comedian of the year.
Dawn Rigby watching the Dibley.
Sensational comedian Rigby watching the Dibley. I love it.
Yes.
Yes, Paul. We asked you the question, what are you watching tonight? And the ex-Manchester comedian of the year, the sensational Dawn Rigby, is watching The Vicar of Dibley. What are you watching? Go onto the Twitter @FanTVUK. Let us know. Let's have another one. This is from JP. He's watching Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. It's a Christmassy film. Do we have another one on the Twitter? That's it for now. If you'd rather email, then let us know.
No, we don't.
Join in at fantv.me is the email. I've got a question for you boys, though.
Let's go.
This is from Dave. What do the Borough fans think of Adam Forshaw getting called up for England in the future?
So, Paul. Good question, man. He's been absolutely unbelievable this season. I remember a few previous weeks back, we spoke about him briefly.
Yeah.
He couldn't really get in the team last season just because of that partnership between Ledbetter and Clayton.
Yeah, solid.
Due to injuries,
Yeah.
he came into the team as a substitute on the first day against Stoke. Hasn't been out of the team since. He's probably one of the first names that now goes on the team sheet. England call up in the future if he keeps, doing the performances that he's doing at the moment. I don't see why not. I know that Forshaw himself came out in the media this week and said, he's absolutely flattered to be linked with England.
Yeah.
But at the moment, he just wants to concentrate on, keeping Borough in the Prem.
And I think for me, there's always this thing about the England side has to be picked from the top Premier League teams. And for me, I think it's still a shock that Wilshire's getting in the team. I mean, I know that he's been humbled a little bit and he's stepped down. He's went to Bournemouth on a loan and he's getting some regular team football. But I think there was a stat saying that it was only he'd actually achieved 90 minutes of football for the first time in something like how many years?
That's right.
And we're talking about Forshaw, who's week in, week out, putting the shift in. And we're not just talking about Forshaw in terms of Middlesbrough. We're talking about Gibson. We're talking about Friend. And I'm not saying that they have to be picked. I'm just saying they need to be within, what people are talking about.
Yeah.
But I don't see the reason that all of our team needs to be picked from the top elite of the Premier League. I mean, the name escapes me. The guy from Burnley who just got
Tom Heaton,
Tom
the keeper.
Heaton, yeah,
he's doing phenomenal.
He's doing fantastically. You know what I mean?
So Forshaw for you, absolutely no doubt he should get an England call up.
Maybe not right now.
No, I don't think it's like 100%. I think for the future for sure, and I think that Southgate needs to have a little think about not just picking those names.
I think if you're picking Wilshere, then why aren't you picking Forshaw?
Do you know what I mean?
That's a good point. I'm hearing in my ear as well.
Yeah.
Heaton came on for England tonight, man.
I think he came on after half-time,
for England
as a
tonight.
second-half sub.
We might have Kenny Ken back on at some point between now and the end of the show with an update on that England-Spain match. England, of course, are beating Spain 2-0. Big game coming up against Chelsea. You got a 1-1 draw away to Manchester City before the international break. How much confidence, Paul, has that given you, that draw at Man City?
I think the last 3 results is just brilliant for us. Again, going back to the last time we had a chat with you on the lovely lime green sofa.
Yeah,
we weren't in the greatest run of form. We'd
Yeah.
just come off a disappointing 1-0 defeat to Watford.
Yeah.
Then the week after, we go away to Arsenal. I think, honestly, as Borough fans, we weren't expecting to get anything.
Sure.
We got a 0-0 draw. Following game at home to Bournemouth, 2-0. Absolutely brilliant solo goal by Gaston Ramirez.
I mean,
phenomenal.
I mean, Messi does that. That's been talked about goal of the season. You know what I mean?
And
that's amazing.
And then the last game before the international break, away at Manchester City. You know, under the cosh for long periods. Want to make a point to say that Victor Valdez is coming into some real good form. Kept us in that game a fair few times.
Yeah.
And then, I think 91st minute, Martin Darun, injury time. Absolute beautiful cross from George Friend, bullet of a header in, nobody's saving that. And Martin Darun just got his first call up to the Holland squad. Phenomenal.
But when we were sat here, and what I was saying to you is that what we want to see from Karanka was something completely different. We didn't want to see that safe option when we go to Arsenal. And he made those changes. Traore has been an absolute revelation for us over the last 2 or 3 games.
Agreed.
I'm not saying that he's the sole saviour, he's not the Jesus of our team, but he has been someone who's got that fire, and all of the pundits are talking about him every single time. All of the match of the day people are picking him out and highlighting him because he is an exciting player.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we wanted. We wanted to break that mould and that whatever Karanka is, that stubbornness of Karanka.
Of his formation, and he's changed it, and as I said, the team's changed, there's more pace.
Okay, boys, we've got another Skype caller all the way from down under. It's Matt the Gooner. Matt, you there, baby?
Matt the Gooner.
How are you? Hey, Matt, you lovely man with a beautiful In Wenger We Trust t-shirt, is that?
Is he in prison?
It is indeed.
Good question from Nathan. Matt, are you currently in prison?
I'm not. I'm actually...
You look like you're in a cell, buddy.
Yeah, it does look a bit like that. The exposed brick walls aren't great. I'm actually in university halls in Australia.
Okay, you're in a university halls and you're absolutely not currently incarcerated.
I swear I'm not. Mum and Dad, if you're watching, I promise.
Okay. But if you were incarcerated though, Matt, what did you do in order to get there?
Oh, God. Probably something to do with the Tottenham fan. I feel like that's what you want me to say.
Okay, Matt, Ray Parlour has said the game against United will be a real test for a stronger Arsenal. Will this be the start of an Arsenal collapse or a real push for the title this season for you?
It's a good question. Typically, Arsenal tend to have shocking Novembers. And I think after the Tottenham draw, a lot is going to ride on it. Because if we lose, people are going to start to say, well, they're finally coming off the rails again. This is what we predicted. So whenever Arsenal do well, people always just seem to wait for the collapse. We typically have a very poor record against Man United and a very poor record against Mourinho. So I think it's a good time to put those records to bed.
Well, we mentioned it earlier, Matt, the fact that, of course, Wenger has still never beaten Jose in a league game. But surely the odds are in your favour this time.
I think so. I think we're a better side than United. But there is that Mourinho in these big games does tend to pull one out of the bag a lot. And United is starting to look a little bit better. Rooney's starting to get onto a bit of form. Pogba scored that great goal at Swansea. And there are signs that perhaps we're starting to rock a bit. I think the game against Middlesbrough, we weren't great.
Looking to get a point.
We watched it. We were 11 hours ahead. And we were really disappointed. But you guys could have easily won it, actually.
So, Matt, are you allowed TV in your cell? Are you allowed telly in your cell?
Sorry?
Are you allowed TV in your cell?
Yeah. Well, I sneak one in for the Arsenal games. It's so late, it's so early in the morning that no one really cares.
So you agree with Nathan, our Borough fan? You do think Arsenal were lucky to get that point against Middlesbrough?
Yeah, I think from what I saw, I think Middlesbrough were the better side. And I think actually, I watched some of the game against Man City when you got a point, I think, late on against City. It looked like you were well worth the point there as well. So.
Can I just say it's refreshing to see an Arsenal fan who's actually genuinely honest.
Yeah,
it's actually quite refreshing to see.
Do you consider yourself to be somewhat of a rarity, Matt? An honest Arsenal fan?
No, I think there are a lot of idiots there, but a lot of them are the ones that kind of come to the front of social media, whereas a lot of the sensible fans are fans that don't necessarily show themselves that much.
Sorry, Matt, before I ask you my next question, what time is lights out?
It's now the morning here. It's 8:41 in the morning. So.
Okay, sorry. I thought I could hear somebody jangling keys in the background. Matt, Bellerin is a major doubt for the game. How worrying is that for you?
Worrying, yeah. I think he's actually become one of our most important players. I would actually argue he's one of the best right-backs in the world at the moment. Without him, we've got probably Jenkinson, and that we lose a lot of pace going forward without Bellerin. He gets a lot of assists. So I do hope he does make it. I think him and maybe Santi Cazorla are up there with our most important players.
And also, we spoke a bit about it last week, of course, but it looks like Sanchez was playing for Chile tonight. Did he actually play for Chile, Matt? Sanchez tonight? He's playing later tonight for Chile. That's going to be a nervy evening for you, Matt, isn't it?
You shouldn't be.
Yeah, I think Wenger was issuing some kind of strong words of advice not to play him to the Chile manager. Sanchez is one of those ones you just want to keep well away from any football when there's any danger, because it's happened in the past. He's so eager to play, but he does get these little niggles and they don't go away. And last season we saw what happens when he's not fully fit. He wasn't great. He's been so good this season that it would be a real shame for him to pick up an injury at Chile, especially before such a big game.
OK, Matt, we've got 30 seconds before our next commercial break, so very briefly, can you give us a scoreline prediction for the game on the 19th?
I'm quietly confident. I don't know. I'm going to go conservative. I'm going to say 2-2.
OK, 2-2's going for a draw. Let's hear it from Matt.
Thank you very much,
buddy.
buddy.
So much. All the way from his prison cell in Australia. We love you, Matt. We love you, baby. Don't go anywhere. The other side of this break, the three of us will be chowing down on a lovely fowl. The hottest curry known to man. Good times. The three of us. Can I apologise because I am proud to be a member of the Punjabi Rams. Since you gave me my badge last time you came on the show with me, Pav, I have worn it with pride. And tonight, what happens? I forgot you were coming on. I don't wear the badge. Is there a forfeit?
There is a forfeit.
Okay.
First of all, I've got to say thanks for pushing us on Twitter just then.
Pleasure.
But that's not going to save you from the forfeit.
Man.
And I think either let the audience decide on Twitter or let Tarrant decide.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Let Tarrant decide the forfeit?
Yeah.
I love that. I've not met those guys, and they've just put me out there. So I can tell you that I've spent the last 24 hours thinking about what would be appropriate punishment. And as it's the Punjabi Rams, and Justin is a very big Bristol City fan, we are going to have Justin eat the hottest curry money can buy in a Bristol Rovers shirt. So that is something to look forward to.
That's a whole lot of foul.
I seriously doubt.
Ladies and gentlemen, the foul is in the building. In all seriousness, we can smell it. It's ridiculously pungent, and you can smell the heat in the room. I don't know what's worse, the fact that we are about to chow down on the hottest curry.
You keep involving me in
We
this.
didn't sign up for this.
This
We
is
didn't sign
you,
up for
man.
This is ridiculous.
We're going to be eating a foul. I don't know what's worse, that fact or the fact that I'm wearing this. I love Bristol Rovers.
Do you love Bristol Rovers?
No, I love Bristol City.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, before we get to the foul, for the final time tonight, I'll have a foul, please. We're looking for the name of a well-known footballer or individual involved in a current fouling incident. Let's have another vowel for the last time tonight. Oh, let's just reveal the name. We'll reveal the name.
Emil Heskey.
It's Fabrice Muamba.
What a guy.
It's Fabrice
What a guy.
Muamba, of course it was. Okay, so Raj, if you're ready, for the last time tonight, I'll have a foul. Please, thank you.
What's going on?
Thanks, Raj. You've just like to put it there on the table. That's insane.
That is absolutely
insane.
savage, man.
Come on, boys, tuck him. Come on.
Right, can we just say before we do this, like we've had a lot of good following from Middlesbrough at the moment. We'd like to thank UTB Borough TV and everyone for following us. Before we cannot speak after eating this horrid thing.
I've gone straight in. And that is nuts.
Guys, follow us, UTB Borough TV.
That's insane. That is insanely hot.
I can smell that from here.
You've gone for more.
Try putting it in my I love it. Hang on.
Do you actually like that?
The chicken's really good. I mean, hand it over. Got it? We got it?
Just putting it out there, I've never gone hotter than a tikka masala.
Genuinely. I've seen, like...
Actually, I really like it, actually.
You don't like it, man.
I do, I really do. That's nice.
I don't know how much...
Mate, that is ridiculous.
You sure this is a foul? Are you sure? Are you sure, Toby? Hey, Toby, you watching?
Have you been eating wax today? What's wrong with you?
Yo, nah, man. That is some serious heat. Bro, like, serious, like, get some water, like. That is absolutely savage. Like, why are you eating more? Like, that is grim, mate.
What was I doing with this?
This is... Oh, sack it, man. No, we're in. We're in, man. We're down. Why are we doing this on live TV, like?
Spain have scored. Spain have scored. That's Matthew. He's cheering because he's not eating this. Matthew, do you want some of this stuff? I think I'm having an allergic reaction. Nathan, how you feeling?
You know that like
my eyes are watering, man.
You know in a cartoon where the steam comes out the ears? That's what I feel like now.
It's not just coming out of my ears.
Right, for a call out, Adrian Chisholm, one of our best runs from Middlesbrough. You say that you love a curry. The furthest you've gone is a madras. Try a foul, man. Get back to me when you've had a foul. I'm done. Like, seriously done.
That is insane.
I'm seriously in trouble.
Let's talk Middlesbrough.
No, fuck off.
Let's talk.
Let's talk Karanka. I want to talk Karanka. All I want to do right now is talk about Karanka.
Tarrant out.
Tarrant out.
Out. Oh my God, my ears. Why is that a thing?
Seriously though, huge game at Riverside.
Oh yeah, massive, mate, massive.
Huge.
Seriously, please get more
Negredo.
I'm not even joking. Please fill it up now.
I want one more bit.
I'm not joking, fill it up now.
I want one more bit.
He went for more.
Please, my ears are actually hurt.
I can't sing.
He's gone. He's done. He's off. He's off. Talk to me about...
Somebody get Nathan some milk. I can't have it. I'm lactose intolerant. Are you lactose intolerant?
No, I'm good. Let's talk
right Negredo insists Boro's the perfect place for him.
I don't care. I honestly do not care.
He settled in well since a sensational summer switch from Valencia. He penned a one-year loan deal in July, with Boro holding an option to make the move permanent next year. What do you think? Can they make the move permanent next year?
I think he's coming across a lot of criticism. You know, people are going back to that, that he's only scored 1 goal. Oh, my God. People are going back to the fact that he's only scored 1 goal.
What are we talking about?
Apparently, we're talking about Negredo from Valencia.
Over the head, boys.
You got a mic.
Get Nathan's eyes.
Wow.
I'm gone.
I'm dying.
Yeah, give it me, mate.
So, I'm starting to get back okay. So, Negredo on loan from Valencia. People are giving him stick that he's only scored 1 goal. But if you actually watch him through the duration of the 90 minutes, he's putting in a lot of work. Why did you make me a foul?
It wasn't me, it was Toby Tarrant.
Toby Tarrant, I'm going to hunt you down. You are done for. Don't know which camera I'm meant to be looking at. Done. Anyway.
Ken's on Skype. Kenny, we're eating a foul. Kenny?
Hello, how you doing?
I feel terrible, Kenny. I feel awful. I feel god awful. Can you just talk to us for 5 minutes? Give us an England update, Ken.
Right, it's 2-1. It's we're injury time. In the 89th minute, Aspas scored a beautiful curling keeper.
I think I've got a touch of Aspas right now, Ken.
Yeah.
I've got a little bit of Aspas right now, mate.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. Basically, England basically failed to manage the game. Rashford's lost the ball in an important area, and Spain have gone down the field and scored. But we've only got 57 seconds of the game left. England trying to manage the game out. 2-1. Like I said, you haven't missed much. I think there's not substitutions. Aspas has come on. Isco's come on. Herrera's come on for Spain. We've had Alvaro Morata's come on. And England have brought on Townsend. Like I said, Townsend, they brought on Rashford's come on. Like I said, Jack Hilker's come on. Heaton's been replaced. Hart in goal. So both clubs have made their requisite changes.
How much of the game is left, Ken?
Well, we've got 15 seconds left. 15 seconds of the game left. England are still holding on. Spain are trying to play the usual style. I'm not panicking, but I think the game's up for the Spanish. We've got 4 seconds left before the Romanian...
4 seconds left.
Spain are in. And they just scored!
Who else?
Unbelievable! No! Spain have scored in the last second.
No!
And Gareth Southgate...
What's the final score?
It's Spain are celebrating. The Spanish diaspora's going. Basically...
2-2.
2-2. Gareth Southgate. Basically, England have felt the same guy. It's Isco who's just scored in the last second game. Great ball over. Tom Heaton's come out. He's put the ball through his legs. It's virtually the last kick of the game.
You're awesome.
Spain have scored in the 89th minute and the 95th minute.
You don't like mugs, I'll take it.
England basically failed to manage the game out. That's what you do at this level.
That's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Is that full time, Ken? Is that full time, Ken?
But, like I said, I think England are about to kick off. Gareth Southgate is not too impressed. You know, Creswell's got his head in his hands. All the England players got their head in their hands. And Heaton's not very happy, but the referee's still playing.
Kenny, was Joe Hart in any way, shape or form at fault for that equaliser?
Tom Heaton's
not. Oh, sorry, I've lost my mind.
Heaton was not at fault. Basically, England were dominating the game, but they failed the basic rule of football, which is game management. They basically allowed Spain to equalise with 1 minute left. First the goal for experts, and then it was Isco in the 95th minute who's put England through. Basically, England have been trying to attack. in numbers when all they had to do with 1 minute ago was hold on. That is naive football.
Kent, naive football. What are the positives that England can take from this game against Spain?
Well, for 87 minutes, basically England played the perfect game against a team like Spain. Like I said, they defended in numbers when they had to. When they didn't have to, they had 2 banks of 4. The players defended from the front. But basically what's happening is the basic rule of football, game management.
OK, Kenny Ken, thank you so much for rescuing us. We've all had a foul on the show tonight. Hottest curry I've ever had.
Someone looks hungry. That looks like someone looks hungry in that table, innit? I can see a bottle of water. I can see some takeaway.
It was savage, man.
Kenny,
not good.
You'll be back with me on Thursday for another Kenny Ken rant. Kenny, I love you with all my heart, baby.
Even better, I'm going to be doing it from the studio, right in front of you, live in the studio.
Oh, I love it. Kenny Ken, I'll see you Thursday. Kiss the guns, Kenny Ken, kiss the guns. That's Kenny Ken. He'll be on the lime green sofa with me on Thursday. Thank you, you lovely man, Kenny Ken. Don't forget, the man who set this challenge for me tonight, Toby Tarrant, will be back on the sofa tomorrow. Thanks to Paul. Thanks to Nathan. We're going to keep some foul for you, Toby Tarrant. You can finish this. That is the hottest thing I've ever had in my mouth, Nathan.
My lips are still burning, man.
My lips are honestly on fire. Everybody come onto the sofa. Daniel, Matthew, come onto the sofa.
Come on, man.
Oh,
you need some love, man. You need some love.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
I'm so
No, don't put it in your eyes. You're insane. He's put it in his eyes. He's insane. Daniel's just put it in his eyes. We'll be back tomorrow with Toby Tarrant. That's it for another show. I'll be back on Thursday. Thank you so much. Thanks to our Borough fans. Thanks for watching on Sky 212. Back tomorrow night.